The first thing I discovered about being on a team was I have to serve the song. If you want to be good at something, you got to put in the time. You got to work hard. When you bring me into your organization, I'm going to motivate, I'm going to entertain, I'm going to educate, I'm going to play rock and roll drums with rock and roll music. Everybody's going to leave with something.
I love the shirt. I love the boots. Kenny, always a pleasure. John Fogerty, ladies and gentlemen.
I motivate my audiences from my experiences playing with people like Sting, Elton John, people like Buddy Guy, Ray Charles, Avril Lavigne, Michelle Branch. To do your homework. Now, I'm like famous for this. Just ridiculous amount of work.
Now, I don't want to tell you how to do your business. I think your drummer may be a little anemic.
Boom! Boom! We are live, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Q&A Live. Very special event today with Mr. Kenny Aronoff. My name is Peter Clark, Red TV, and of course, my very good friend right over there, Mr. Kenny Aronoff. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. You go boom, I go kabam.
You go kabam, which is the coffee. Kabam, everybody.
Kabam.
That's a great plug, by the way. I mean, how does it go?
Well, it's like everybody should have a kabam moment. Kabam!
Bam, there you go, right there. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. I've talked to you in a long time. You've been super busy and just keeping yourself. You good? You're healthy, and your family, first of all, everything good?
Super healthy. I just tons of recording, and people. I don't think if people could feel my load of workload, they'd probably have a heart attack. People, you tell people, hey, I'm busy. Like, I can't answer emails. I get like hundreds of emails over 24 hours, plus ungodly amounts of social media, and people are asking questions. I literally cannot get to everything. I do it all day long. Well, what about all the sessions? I was here till like 1 a.m. writing charts out just to get ready for recording, but then there's the whole speaking business, then there's the audio book, then there's this drum book, then I'm getting requests. I'm getting requests every day about this, about that. I got somebody who's trying to launch a whole business around me, and I haven't even gotten back to that person.
Right. I know that feeling. Listen, the few emails that we share amongst each other here to do these kinds of events and so on, I get so many emails, and people think that you and I are chatting all the time. And I just want to put it out there to everybody. Everyone's schedule is so busy, especially this guy right here. So I don't see him as much as you guys think, just so you know. We're really good to see you. Guess who I was talking to the other day? Guess who I was talking to?
My mom.
Yes, I was. She's a rock star. Oh, I appreciate that.
She likes you a lot, man. That's cool.
It's a great, you know what? I just love chatting with her. I really do. We just sit and chat, and it feels like we're old friends. She's got this old soul, and she's very wise, you know.
Oh yeah, that's so cool. For anybody who's listening, she's gonna be 95 in March.
Right. She told me about that. She said, you know what, bro? She was talking. She said, I was talking with Kenny the other day, and he said, hey, Mom, I was talking about you on a show. And I said, my mom is 95 and doing all these kinds of things. And she said, you know what I didn't like about that? And I said, what's that? He said I was 95. I'm only 94.
Yeah, but 95 sounds better. I said
That's right.
You know what I told her? I says you're lucky I didn't say 100. 100 even's better.
I
Wow,
think
my
100
mom
would be awesome.
I know. It's like if you make it to 100, come on.
Right? That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
I'm thinking that's going to be a great number for her.
So she's like now motivated to live to be 100.
Oh man, you know what she's going to do? She is sharp as a tack. I'm telling you right now, she is sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
She understands, like when I say understands, like the nuances of any. If I say something even remotely sarcastic, she picks right up on it. She's witty. She's smart. Anyway, we're going to have more shows with her. Just so you know, I'm recording some of these conversations with her. She said, absolutely. And she goes, "Would anyone want to listen to that?" I said, "I don't. I'm going to put it out.
I will."
Right.
You know what she mentioned? She mentioned that. She mentioned, so she brought up, or you brought up, or something about people calling in to talk to her. I think you should do that, but it should be, she said something about putting her number online. I went, no.
No. None of that's happening. None of that's going. That's what I told her. I said, hey, what we're going to do. I mean, and we haven't figured it all out just yet, Kane. But what I was going to do is I'm going to get questions in advance, and then I'm just going to pick when it's convenient for her to come on board, and then have a conversation and answer those questions. And I'm telling you, she has so much wisdom this year. I've learned so much just from chatting with her. So I appreciate you inviting me into the fold.
Well, the thing is that it'll be interesting. She's very clear over what she believes in.
Yeah,
she's got very she's very focused on what she believes in. She doesn't have to think about it. But
that's true.
You're talking to somebody who's been around for 95 years almost,
right?
And it's entertaining too because you're listening. And she's not totally embraced where technology in the new world is. You get a lot of like there's a lot of people be interested to hear her say, kind of talk about both worlds and stuff.
Oh, I'm telling you, she can talk, and she's so clever. Like it says, she's able to distinguish between different decades. So when I talk to her about 60s or 70s or 80s, she knew who was in. She knows the politics. She knows this. She knows the social culture of what was going on, the music, and I'm like, wow, it's just fascinating stuff. And I'm going to tell you something right now, so that everyone hears this. But I want to say it to you directly, man. She is so super proud of the three of you guys. I mean, she just. And she doesn't do it like she doesn't go on about it. She just says, I'm just so super proud of what the three of them have done in their own world, Yeah,
she's the greatest mom you could ever have in that her children are everything. It's almost like if I got COVID, she'd kill me because I got it. It's like, that's right. Don't you dare get that COVID. I'm going to have to.
No, that's right. Oh, that is awesome, man. Well, like I said, I appreciate having those conversations with her. And right now, so today I'm just throwing up there's so many comments coming in. Kenny will jump on. I'm just throwing them up there right now. But we do have a number of people going to be coming in on the show, everybody. So what today's show is all about is that Kenny did a contest a little while ago about.
Guys, Rex Miller's asking what size shoes.
What shoe size?
10. What does that mean?
I guess he's worried about the foot pedal thing. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
Size 10, U.S.
Right. Hey, there's some Canada, a little bit of Canada there. Dale Wall right there. Look.
I know Dale. I recorded with Dale. Hey, Dale, how you doing, man? I recorded with him.
Fantastic.
He wrote a great something about gas. Elaine Ross, Texas.
Texas is coming in right now.
Thank
Scott
you, Elaine.
Right, loved your interview on Coast.
Oh, that's cool. Scott, great. Isn't that the greatest show? Wow.
There you go.
Billy Gibbons called in while I was on Coast.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Why aren't we doing? Anyway, we'll talk about that. We need him on our show.
I know because
right.
All right, Mark Cove. I know Mark.
No, there you go.
I think I do. Mark, do I know you, Mark?
We got an Ola in there, which is even fantastic.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
in that direction. It's all cool.
Sandoval.
And
Hola.
here we go. Let's see. Fewer, bigger than yours. Happy Sunday. Yikes. Back to the feet thing. There you go.
Karen. I know Karen. I went to school with Karen. My feet are bigger than yours. Oh, Karen. All right. Let's get together and put our feet together and see what happens.
There you go. Okay. We have a number of guests coming on. So what we did, everybody, is that we had this contest where Kenny looked at people that were that sent in their drum solo for Jack and Diane, which was fantastic. We had so many people do that, and I know what Kenny was like. I knew it was going to eventually go in that direction, but we wanted to pick one winner. But it's like, hey, with people that put in, let's pick 10 of those people, bring them on, and let them spend some time with Kenny to ask a question. So, just so you know, Kenny, in advance, people are super kind about this, but we wanted to be very respectful of your time because I know you got a session right after this, and so you're very, very busy. That's why we picked Sunday, try to get everybody involved. We're going to try to keep a time limit to everybody, so we're going to keep it nice and tight. If I jump on while we're talking and so on, it's purely for the respect of the other guests that are coming on and respect for your time, okay? So no disrespect for anyone, so please, no comments about, hey, Peter cut Kenny off, no intention like that. We just want to get through everybody. So we're going to start right away, Ken. We're going to start with somebody I think you said and if that's the case, that's even cooler. So this is Tim Downey. Let's see if we can bring Tim in. Hey. Tim, how are you, my friend?
Good. How you doing, Peter?
Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Hey,
he's a nose surgeon. See that?
No. When are you going to come see me? I can straighten that out for you.
No, you're the one that made it crooked.
I made it crooked?
It was straight when I met you. I think you got a little. We were talking drums, and he accidentally did a instead of a I.
I got it.
Hey,
well, Tim, listen. Tim, we super appreciate the fact that you sent in a drum solo. We appreciate that. I know it takes time, doesn't it? Right? I bet you that wasn't the first take, right? There's a couple takes in there.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was going to ask Kenny how many times they had to do it in the studio. Honest to God, when I saw this contest, I was like, this might not be so tough. And it took. I probably played it 100, 200 times, filmed it 50 times, and then picked the one that I thought was the best before I sent it in. And I haven't played it since, and I don't think I will for a while.
Dude, that was tricky. That was very tricky, that solo. And to get it perfectly in time.
So the first time, one of my questions is, so the first time you sat down, I've read your story, you've told me about it, we see it online, where you hit it for the first time. So then is any of that first drum solo on the final song that made it on the record? How many times did you have to retake to get to the final song?
I have no idea. All I do remember is the first thing I did was that beginning, boom, blam, or what I call kabam now. Kabam! And 4. And I stopped because my thing was I was thinking, I got to come up with something. I was scared I was going to lose my job. When I walked in the studio and, there was this drum machine thing I programmed. I was devastated that I was being replaced by a drum machine. So I programmed it. I thought that was it. And it wasn't, because the machine only, it gets boring after a while. So I knew when we were setting up drums to get this drum solo, I thought I got to do something that's going to come out, little car stereo speakers, TV set speakers, radio speakers. So I thought, and I had learned how to serve John Mellencamp's music. So I thought I'd go boom, blam, and everybody loved it. And then I decided to go up the drums instead of down the drums, and I hit a dead end. And long story short, I played basically what I was playing with the kick drum, boom, blam, which is on boo, 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 which goes boo, doo, doo, ba, boo, boo, boo. But they didn't like it, so instead of throwing out the whole idea, I just started it on the and of 1. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, and then John screamed, "You hit a cymbal, ba-doo-goo," and then I kind of copied Phil Collins, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, ran out of drums. I went, oh no. And so then I put the triplet in there to kind of bridge it into ba-boo-boo-doo, ba-da-boo. I thought musically that sounded cool. So to answer your question, in other words, I didn't just invent that. I was creating it on the spot with the fear that I was going to be fired again. So when I finally did it, probably only a couple takes, because John was very impatient in the studio. And, a matter of fact, I did it and I stopped and went, no, keep playing the groove. Because Mick Ronson from David Bowie was in the studio. His guitar player was telling John, no, tell Kenny to keep playing and we'll sing the chorus on top of it. That was Mick Ronson's idea. So John's screaming keep playing. I went, oh. So then I probably did it one more time, and once I figured out what the groove was, because originally, boo, boo, da, boo, da, boo, I was playing 16th notes on the hi-hat through the whole measure. And John said too much hi-hat. And I remember being pissed and go, well, how's this? And I played no hi-hat. And then he went, no, mother, And I went, okay, boo, boo, da, boo, ja. And so then that became the thing. I probably did one more take, and that was it. So there was not many takes because John was like, always up your ass trying to get this now.
So the final recording is how many takes then?
It might have been for me just 2.
Wow.
Maybe 2 or 3. Once I came up with the part, then you had to get it immediately because he wanted to start overdubbing. John was the type of guy, he wanted to get the song, come on. I want to put the guitars on. I want to hit the vocals. I want to hear what I got. That's what he was. He wanted to see the whole picture immediately. He was very impatient.
Was he the most demanding artist you ever played for?
One of the most, yeah.
One of the most? Who else?
The reason why he was one of the most, I'd say working with Billy Corrigan from Pumpkins.
Really?
Billy's a genius. When I recorded with Tony Iommi and Billy Corrigan on a Tony Iommi, that's guitar player from Sabbath, his record, Billy walked in. I walked in first and met Tony, gentleman, really sweet. Billy walks in, takes a coat off and says, Tony, what do you got? Give me a lick. Billy goes, give me another. He looked at me and he went, go out there. Go out there. I'm like, go out where? Oh, the drums. Okay. So I went out there and we recorded for 13 hours, no vocals, writing this song with a 45-minute break. 13 hours in that day with a 45-minute break. Nonstop. John and Billy at one point yells at me. I mean, he's just writing the song. I'm out in the drum room. They're in the control room. Billy goes, no, Kenny, the chorus. I'm like, chorus? I got A section, B section, dark section, purple section, I took my headphones off. When I take my headphones off in a session, watch out. That means I'm coming at you. I do. I take my headphones off, put them down, went right into the control room, went up to the second engineer, and I gave him $20. I said, when those guys, and I'm pointing at them, start talking, you put down the talkback button so I can hear what they're saying. Like, you dumbasses, I can't hear what you're saying. How do I know what a chorus is? I walked out, put the headphones on. Every time they talked, the guy put his button down. You know what? I'm a hard worker, but if you mess with me and it's for no reason at all, I'm coming right at you. And I do.
There you go. Love it.
So take that beat. Remember, Timothy, when I come to visit you,
I gotta get you out here.
I'll come right at you if you don't talk to me with respect. When I'm in surgery and you're about to stick a knife in me and you see me take those headphones off, watch out.
Hey, if I operate on you, you can keep the headphones on, man.
I appreciate that. Hey, Tim, I just wanted to ask you, like, what inspired you to want to do I mean, I know obviously Kenny, but what inspired you to kind of want to do this and just kind of get involved? You still stay passionate with the kit and you still listen to Kenny a lot?
I've been playing. I met Kenny. Actually, here it is, Kenny. Look at this drum head.
Woo! Yeah, that's it
right there. Look,
that's so
here.
Cool. Yeah,
that's when we met. I saved this thing.
What's that?
So and Mike DeRosier of Heart.
Oh yeah.
That was the drum clinic at Don Bennett Studio, or at
What year was that?
2001. It was right after 9/11. That's when we first met. Yeah. So Peter, wow. I'm gonna tell Peter real quick. So back in the day, you're talking about emails, getting a lot of emails. I got on Kenny's website about 2000, sent him an email, said, "Hey, if you're ever in town, stop by for a beer and we'll have a meal or something." Didn't know him at the time. It was probably 6 months, 9 months later, I get an email. I didn't recognize the email address. I almost erased it because I was working for the Army, and the Army said, don't open anything if you don't know who it is. Almost erased it. It was Kenny. I was like, holy crap. And he said, I'm traveling with Joe Cocker. We're going to be in Seattle in a few weeks. I'm holding a clinic at Don Bennett's studio. So I emailed Don Bennett, didn't know him. Don Bennett calls me at work and said, how the hell do you know about this drum clinic? And I told him, and he said, that's great. When you get here, I'll take you aside. I'll make sure you spend some time with Kenny. And Don Bennett did that. Don took me up to Mike DeRosier. I spent 15 minutes with him. And I waited till everybody cleared out. It was me, Kenny, Don Bennett, Mike DeRosier, and another drummer from Seattle. I can't remember him. And so, yeah, that was great that Kenny took the time. He answered my email, and we stayed in contact a little bit after that. And then actually, same thing happened, Peter. Last year, sent Kenny an email. He called me the next day, and we've been communicating ever since. So it's just I actually, to do the drum solo, I had a shitty day at work. Oh, sorry about my language. I had a crappy day at work.
I'll say it for you. Shit.
Shit. What is that? I don't want to be George Carlin here.
Oh, that's all right. Go ahead. Bring him back.
So I had a crappy day at work, and I thought I'm just going to listen to some music. I logged in to your Facebook. You guys were live with the drum solo.
Okay.
When you said there's a contest, and I just barely caught it. And I thought, what the hell? I'll do this. And well, thank you for recognizing my drumming, inviting me on. It's a pleasure. And Kenny, I'm going to make it out to your studio. When this COVID thing clears up, I'll get out there. I'll have you out. We'll do something. Yeah,
I could use do you do faceless? I could use a facelift.
Hey, good, man. You don't need a facelift.
I know. I just joking.
Timothy, listen, I super appreciate telling us that background story as well. And that says a lot about Kenny, the fact he stays in touch like that. That's the kind of guy he is. So, no, that's really cool to tell us. Hey, listen, thanks for coming on the show. Super appreciate that. Thanks for your question. Thanks for sending in the solo. Keep playing.
Hey.
And Kenny and I, as we do more of these, as we continue into the new year, please stay in touch, and maybe we'll chat again for sure. Okay, my friend?
Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate it.
Good to see you. Good to see you. That was cool, man. So there you go. Rock and roll, right? There's I like the fact that you stay in touch with the guy. That's kind of cool, man. That's cool.
He left the part out where he made us all go to a strip club, but I wouldn't do it because I'm so conservative.
Well, that's it. I was going to say, how did you ever talk Kenny into that? I mean, come on.
So obvious. I would never do that.
Never see that happen. I can't even see
Tim,
that. There you go, right?
Tim, I'm just joking, everybody. Just being funny.
Yeah, that's right. Just in case his wife or somebody's watching, right? You never know. Okay, let's jump to our next guest. And this is a cool little side story here, Kenny, is that David Gomez. So David Gomez sent one in, and he actually emailed me back, and it was kind of cool. He goes, I'm going to have someone sitting with me to interpret just in case I miss something. And I'm thinking, hey, that's kind of cool, right? So I doubt he's going to miss anything that we're talking about. I'll tell you that. I doubt that. Let's see if we can bring him on right now. David Gomez, how are you?
Hello from Spain. Kenny, Peter, pleasure.
Great
David,
to see you.
Where are
Nice
you?
to see you.
Yeah.
It's
Where
a pleasure,
are you?
okay?
Where are you?
Where are you calling in from?
We are in Murcia, in a city in southeast Spain, a beautiful city.
Woo!
Yeah. It's a
Spain.
pleasure to share this time with you, Kenny, and thank you, Peter, for having this possible.
That's
Absolutely.
great.
Well, let me just throw it out right there and say to you, thanks for sending that in. You're a hard-hitting drummer, my friend. You hit the kid hard.
I try. He is. Yeah.
Like me.
I learned from the best. Yeah.
That's right. Well, go ahead and you chat with Kenny here. Just go ahead. I'm just going to sit back and watch it. You go ahead, my friend.
Okay, thank you. So, Kenny, you are my biggest influence playing drums since I started playing drums 20 years ago. You are my biggest influence, and the first time I see you playing was in 2009 near my city in San Javier. It was the first show of revival tour with John Fogerty.
Yeah.
It was the first time John Fogerty played in Spain ever.
It was? Was it very hot there? Was it a very hot day?
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that place.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so hot.
I want to know if you have any memories of your visits to Spain, or do you like Spain? Do you have some special moment?
I love Spain. Everything I love about Spain. I've always been treated well there. I've been there with with the Smashing Pumpkins. Maybe with Joe Cocker, maybe with Mellencamp. I'm not sure. A long time ago, obviously with John Fogerty. I'm trying to think. I don't know if Chickenfoot went there, but I love Spain. I've done drum clinic tours there. I love Spain. I love the food. I love the wine. I love the people. They're passionate. I've been all over, Spain and Portugal. And because when I did a drum clinic tour, I think I did a bunch of clinics in Spain, obviously Madrid, maybe Barcelona, and then I went to Porto and what's the other big city in Portugal? Porto and
Lisbon.
Yeah, Lisbon. And people brought me out to the clubs at night, and all these girls were trying to get me to dance, and I don't dance, but I did just because they were beautiful girls, so I'm like, all right, I'll try. But
hard to say no.
I was like, I love it there. It's the people are wonderful there. But you know what? It was funny when I went and saw that concert that you saw me at. So when we go through customs, well, I was on tour for maybe 5 or 6 weeks in Europe. So I bring a lot of vitamins, lots. I carry the whole one suitcase is all vitamins and healthy protein powder and green food. And when the customs opened up my bag, going, whoa! They thought I was smuggling drugs, and they said, whoa! And then they put me in another room, and they're like, I said, these are vitamins. He says, yeah, vitamins, but this is like you're selling vitamins. I said, well, I'm going to be in Europe for a month or 5 weeks or 6 weeks, and that's going to last all. the guy finally went but for a minute there I thought I was going to be handcuffed.
This guy is going to jail.
Right to jail.
Kenny, related to talking about Spain, I know you have played for some artists in Spain like Manolo Garcia. Do you remember, or Revolver? Do you have any memories about that?
Oh my God. Revolver? Let's see. All right. Get ready for this.
Calle Mayor album. I'm ready for this.
You have no idea. So we're recording Revolver's album in Los Angeles at Jackson Brown's studio. Okay? And I walk in one day and I'm very, I touch. I hug you, I slap you on the back, I come up to people, very, I touch. So I came in one day, and when I touched it, one guy went, oh. I'm like, wow, what's wrong? I didn't understand. The producer was trying to make a joke on me. He told the guys in Revolver that I was gay and I liked men. So when I came in and I touched the guy, he went, and I'm like, what's wrong? And then they told me.
Good way to start an album recording.
The thing is I had to get the producer. I grabbed the producer and I said, you got to tell them that I'm not gay. That's what I remember about Revolver.
You keep your headphones on, or you take off then after that. I mean,
right. Yeah. No, I took my headphones. Well, I didn't even have them on. But that was funny. But what was funny is that the producer didn't say anything, and it was for the whole day. They thought I was gay for the whole day. It wasn't until later. I'm like, the producer was laughing. He thought it was so funny. That's what does Revolver? Do they still make music?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what, 25 years, 20 years? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Is it two guys? Is it two guys, right? Two main.
Yeah, two guys. Just one guy.
Just one guy.
Yeah.
Oh, just one guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I want to know because John Fogerty is my biggest influence. I love John Fogerty and the CCR, and I want to know what is the best thing about traveling with John Fogerty all these years and on a personal level.
Well, I mean, the first thing is I love the music. The music's great, and I mean, so traveling the way we travel. I mean, well, we are in a private jet a lot, but you're moving from city to city, and the two most important things is you have to love the music and you have to love the people you're working with, and I love the band, and I love the music, and I love that John is so committed to being great. He's still trying to be a rock star. He's still trying to be perfect. If you make a mistake or if you do anything wrong, even if it's one beat a little bit behind or ahead, he can hear it and he'll look at you. And we're a good match. I mean, he said it in his book that I'm the drummer he's always been looking for, and he said it in my autobiography, the same thing. He said, Kenny, I was the 30th drummer on Blue Moon Swamp. After 5 years of recording, I was the 30th and the last drummer. And that's when he said, you know what? You're the drummer I've been looking for my entire life. That's pretty cool.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Gentleman.
Kenny, I want to know, you have played in the Kennedy Center of Honors in the past years.
7 years.
With a bunch of
7.
Yes, 7 years. Also with a great bunch of artists. And do you have any? How was your experience in?
Oh, dude, that was the Super Bowl. That was the greatest, most powerful, most intense, the highest level of performing you could ever do, because very few rehearsals, and you're playing with, like, obviously, Sting, Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, Chris Cornell from Soundgarden, Audio Slave. You're playing with Fair from Mana. You know Mana, right? You're playing with Lionel Richie. You're playing with Billy Joel. You're playing with Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. You're playing with George Jones, Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard before he died. You're playing with every style of music. You're playing with a lot of Latin artists when we honored Santana. Country, every style of music, R&B. You have to be able to read music. You have to be able to learn things very fast, write them down, and when you film it, it's 6. I mean, you're rehearsing 2 hours before the show, day of the show, and it's 16 cameras, and they're filming it and recording it. You do not want to make a mistake, and it's very, very, very high pressure gig. But you have to perform and look like it's easy. You have to look like it's easy, and that took years and years and years. Before the show, I'm running over everything, how to start a song. So I even get the script of the show, so I understand where the artist walks on stage. If they're going to read something on the teleprompter, I have to understand, do I count off or do I give the tempo to the musical director? Or does the stage manager, he might give me a cue when it's time to start. I have to look around, I have it all written down. Do any guitar players have to retune? I write down when Sting walks on, does he have to plug in? Make sure you wait before he plugs his bass in. I have everything written down. And some of these things I've written down, you write down right up until the last second. I've had Sting come up to me right before we were going to start. He go, hey, in the third verse, when I'm by myself, could you just keep time on the hi-hat? I immediately write it down on my chart because you don't want to make that mistake. While I'm playing, I'm stopping the click track and changing it to the next, and I'm watching all the cameras to make sure if that camera's got a red light, it's on me, and I don't want to look like I'm changing a click track. There's so much I'm aware of. Very
That's
high
amazing.
pressure.
There's so much going on there, like you said. Like because I know when we watch those shows. To your point, David, that question is that when you're performing, I mean, there's a big difference between practicing, rehearsing, and stuff. But when you're performing, and that one thing happens, one camera doesn't, the stage director goes in a different direction, and the musician comes up to you and says, "Hey, let's do this," and you're like, "Whoa, hold on a second." Yeah, you have to be on top of that. David, listen, my friend, we have to jump to another interview. Another caller is coming in. I so appreciate you sending in your first of all your solo. You hit like a monster. You are a monster. Very strong, man. I love it. I love the way you play and so on. And we
love you.
appreciate you guys staying up so late to tune in with us tonight. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much. It's a pleasure,
Awesome.
Kenny. It's a dream come true. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome.
Fantastic to see those guys. Look at that, Kenny. That's fantastic. Love that.
Spain.
Love that
I
from
love
Spain.
it.
And I don't know if you remember, I might at the end of the show, if we get a chance to kind of go through some people, he's one of the guys, he's just we said it out loud when we were watching, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard. So it's fantastic. So, hey, I super appreciate that. Hey, let's jump to another guy. We have another person, Dave. Now, I don't know, I'm not going to even try to say the last name until I get Dave on the camera here. Dave, there are you. How are you, buddy?
Good.
Hey,
How are you guys?
Good to see you, my friend. How do I say your last name?
It's Lambrex. Everything on the end would make an X sound.
X, Lambrex. Got it. Okay, fantastic. Lambrex, I appreciate it. Hey, listen, we had some fun watching yours. You gave it a good go. You gave that solo a good go. The best you could. You did. Hey, listen, it was a lot of fun just having you part of it. We super appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Well,
So you go ahead with Kim.
I'm a truck driver, so I didn't have much time to put that together. I had about a week to put that together, so an hour every day, and then so I put it on, and then I didn't quite catch the end, the little hi-hat thing on the end. So I knew another song that I played in 2 different church groups with. We Are the Conquerors. So I tagged that on the end, and I said, "This has got to work. Hopefully it flies." I didn't think I was going to get this far, and look what happened.
Hey, listen, and thanks for your work. Truck driving right now in 2020, man, you guys are doing some hard work out there. So good for you. I hope everyone is safe and sound out there. Yeah, go ahead, man. This is your time to chat. You go ahead with Ken.
Kenny, I met you a few years ago. You were up here at Edmonton, Alberta. That's where I'm from. And you were at a drum clinic at Axe Music. Yeah. And I talked to you a little bit after. You signed my book, which was really super cool.
Oh, cool.
And then 2 weeks later, you were up again at a place called The Needle up on Jasper Avenue for your book selling. So I bought that book there. And I was standing in line waiting to get this sign. I thought it was so cool. You had a talk and everything. And then you turned around and said, "Dude, I know you." And I was just like, "Hey, that's pretty cool." And everybody said, "How does this guy know Kenny?" Well, 6'4", I stand above. So that was pretty cool. I don't know if you remember that. Probably not.
I do.
What else happened?
So you live. So you do go across all of Canada with the truck?
I used to go through the States. I used to go into California. Was my main run doing the produce thing and that. Yeah. But I gave that up and sold the truck and wanted to be closer to home and stuff like that.
Wait, did you own your own truck?
Yeah, I did 22 years for it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Dave, you're up in Edmonton now, are you, Dave? Are you in Edmonton now?
I'm in Edmonton right now. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you know where I am. Right? You know where I am, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm just in Calgary. I'm just south of you.
Yeah, just south of you.
There you go, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you.
That's so awesome.
I was also thinking, when you were putting the songs together with John Mellencamp, and he came over with your guitar, and he go, "Hey, I got the song." It goes G, C, Pink Houses, or something like that. Did you ever get a chance to say, "Hey, I think the words should go like this, John"? Or did that not? That was a no-no, eh?
No, never
too proud to sleep on the bed tonight. No, I think you should be proud to sleep on the floor tonight, John. And that doesn't work.
I never. Although John, if you're gonna come up with an idea and it's brilliant, he had no problem taking that idea. It's just that lyrics were never my focus, but he was smart. He was listening to whatever. He was always looking for new ideas. So if I'd come up with something that was clever, with lyrics, but I never went there. I stayed on the non-lyric side of the music.
I was going to say too, another one. Let's say Tama wasn't invented yet. Then what would be your next go-to drum choice?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe Gretsch, maybe Ludwig.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody makes a great drum set now. Pretty much what I'd be looking for is what kind of support I'd get. What's the different variety of drums that they make? But boy, I haven't thought about. I always tell people because I just signed with LP Percussion, and they right next door. I got this massive it's kind of like a percussion drum set, and I just did a big ad campaign for them, but they're owned by DW, and so I went up there, and I said, "Listen, guys, I just want to be clear about something. I've been with Tama for 38 years. I'm not looking to switch companies, but I said if I was to switch companies, it would have to make sense to the whole world, and I'll give you an example what makes sense. Kenny just left Tama Drums for $1 million, and they bought him his own jet. Well, everybody would go, of course. Why wouldn't you leave? I said that to them. That's what I'll do for you. If you want to get me $1 million in my own jet, I'll leave Tama and go to DW. Of course, everybody started laughing. But that's the thing is that Tama Drums are so good. There's other drum companies that are good, but just to leave a good drum company to go to another good drum company makes no sense to me at all.
There you go. I was going to ask you, is there a second book coming out, like a sequel to the Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll?
You know what?
You were talking about working on it.
Yeah, I wrote it. I wrote it 2 years ago. It's more of a motivational book. It's kind of like, are you living your life loud or are you dying on the vine? Because if you're waiting for... And so I wrote it, and I've been so busy focusing on my speaking business and other things that I haven't revisited it, but I plan to eventually revisit it and put some of the new concepts I speak about, in that book so that it's current with some of the things I talk about in the inspirational world. Okay, cool.
And the Kennedy Center there, you were with Bruce Springsteen, and you're doing the song for Sting.
Oh, yeah.
I Hung My Head. And just the way you started off, just the tap on the snare, and then you started adding the rest, and it just I thought that was so cool when you. That's exactly how I would just start these songs that I play at the church. Just start small and build it up all the time.
Yeah, that's simple but very tricky. Very tricky to get it right.
Very tricky.
Because once you establish time and feel, especially when you're playing very few notes, people can hear and feel every note you play. So as I started, I'm listening, I'm keeping steady. I have a click track going, and I'm keeping steady. Now, Bruce, the way my brain went, if Bruce wants to move around, don't follow him. You play like a machine. But let him float over your groove. Because if you follow him, then he needs you to stay steady. Same with Sting. Sting likes to phrase. He likes to kind of move around the beat. You've got to keep it. Same with Willie Nelson. Oh my God! First time I played Willie Nelson, I followed him. He looked at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, what are you doing?" And what he likes to do. Some of these guys like to stretch the beat over the tempo. My job is to stay steady, keep the tempo steady and the feel steady, consistent, so they can then be creative on top of that. And that was one of those songs.
That could backfire very fast, eh? Okay, so how long does it take to put that together? Let's say these guys come, including the choir and all that.
Kennedy Center, we fly in on a Thursday. We rehearse Friday, Saturday, Sunday during the day. The show's that night.
Wow.
And
So
some of the people I'm rehearsing. So first of all, they don't even tell me the songs until the week of the show. I'm scrambling. So I learn the songs off the CD. Then I go to YouTube. Like in Bruno Mars's case, we were honoring Sting. I saw that Bruno Mars does a police medley. So then I make a chart of what they do with that band, with his band. Then when we get there, as soon as I get there on Friday morning, I go very early and make sure that the drum set on stage is right and the drum set in rehearsal is right. And I'm waiting for the musical director to show up. He shows up with a whole nother set of charts. And those charts have all been edited differently than what I have, and he's been talking to the artists. So tempos have changed, keys have changed. As soon as he says the name of the song, I grab that chart and I start taking like letter A from his chart and putting it on my chart. And I notice, oh my God, they don't have a second chorus. I erased it on my chart. I'm scrambling as fast as I can because we're going to start. Then we start rehearsing. Then he starts making edits and changes. I'm making changes. Then we go to the next song. Next song, there's 7 songs. Then the artists show up. Then we start going through those songs again, and they make more changes. That night, I rewrite everything. Next day, I come in, and then we do a camera block. That means we're on stage and we start rehearsing how these artists are going to walk in. What's the order? And I get a script of the show and I start understanding which ones am I counting off, who's going to speak, if they're going to speak in teleprompter, does the musical director count off? I get everything written down. Then the next group of people come in, like the first year I did The Who and George Jones. I have to do the same thing again with the George Jones group. Now that's Saturday. Now Sunday, we finish rehearsing with the George Jones group. Then we do a run-through of the whole show without the artists, and they're filming all of us, so we got to be perfect. Filming and recording. In case something goes wrong with the show, they've got another take. And they want close-up of the musicians. So we're doing a run-through the whole show. When I mean run-through, I mean, they have 5 different people they're honoring. They got the actors, the whole complete 3-hour show. And then I have a 2-hour break, and I go to the hotel, change into my whatever, shut my eyes, and then I start reviewing the entire show for the actual show. And man, you walk out there, you sitting on that drum set, and the curtain's down, and the president of the United States is there, all the politicians, all those, Hollywood people, and you got 16 cameras. And it is such pressure, and you don't want to make a mistake. And here's the other thing. I know for a fact something's going to go wrong, but I don't know when, and I have to solve that problem when it happens.
That's right.
You just don't know. The artist might forget something, but it's up to me. It's up to me to direct everybody into place.
Well, that's what you're doing. You're playing as a director and there's stuff like that. I have to jump in on the conversation, Dave, because we have other people waiting to jump on as well. Listen, my friend, I just wanted to say thank you so much for sending in, first of all, your drum solo. We appreciate that. That was fantastic. I know you had fun with it, right? We were just having fun. That's all we were doing. And I know that Kenny appreciates it. So when you were talking about Edmonton, you saw him like 2 years ago? It was 2 years ago?
It was, I got it here, April 13th, 2017, he was here.
There you go. Kenny, that's where you and I came up to see you there. Yeah, right. So anyway, I was there, Dave. I was filming him. I filmed him that day. I filmed his interviews. Okay. Anyway, good to see you, my friend, and we super appreciate you sending in your drum solo, and thanks for joining us today. We super appreciate it.
Thanks, Kenny, for your time. That's great.
Take care, buddy. As they say, keep on trucking.
Yay.
That's fantastic. Hey, that's cool, man. So he was up there the same time we were both up there. Isn't that weird? That's kind of weird.
So weird.
It's so small world, man. Super small world. But I love, and I don't want to stay on this one point. One thing I just want to say to you, this is one thing that I'm really glad you expanded on about the Kennedy Center, those kinds of events. Man, like I cannot, and I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but on that stage, if anyone makes a mistake, it's noticeable. But if you make a mistake, oh
man.
My. I mean, seriously, is there anybody else on that stage that has more I don't think so.
No.
That's just my opinion. But man, you're able to kind of just, because if the drums
Really?
go somewhere else, man, everyone's like, what is going on? And that's
just a simple, like that part where Steven Tyler, we were honoring Paul McCartney. You get to that drum part in Abbey Road. In
the intro here, yeah.
The foot has to go ga 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 ga. Sounds easy, but I had to figure out while I was doing it. You have to hit hard, but not just. I was about 90%, because if you hit too hard, something can go wrong. Your ankle, your heel, something, it could get off. So you've got to be. You can't hit soft. You got to hit hard, but it's got to be smooth and consistent. And in between each beat felt like an hour. Oh man! And I believe it. I nailed it, but oh my God, it's a
like I said, the pressure. I mean, just the pressure. I mean, just the audience. It's not, and I don't mean to say an average audience. It's no audience is average, but that one, those ones are very specific. President, special guests, all that kind of stuff. Hey, let's jump to our next person who was involved with the contest, and that's what today's show's about. Everybody, just in case you're wondering, what are we doing here today? Kenny was kind enough to invite all the people back, or at least 10. Sorry, I shouldn't say all the people back, but 10 people who put in their drum solo for Jack and Diane, that contest. So Kenny was kind enough to bring on Kent. Are you ready, buddy? Because I see you in the background there. I'm going to bring you on, my fine friend. Let's bring on Kent. There you are. How are you, my friend?
Hey guys, great to meet both of you guys. Thanks for taking time, and especially Kenny, and it's great to meet you, Peter. I've been looking forward to this, and had a lot of fun with the contest. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, hey, we appreciate you putting it in, man. You're the one, if I'm not mistaken, you did a couple different camera angles. You did a couple different interpretations of it, which is fantastic. And you got a beautiful kit, if I'm not mistaken. What's the name of your kit again?
Is it DW?
I have a DW kit, and thanks so much. Appreciate you saying that, and I really enjoyed kind of putting this together and the opportunity. So super fantastic. And thanks.
Well, take it away with Kenny. Here's your time, man. You rock and roll with Kenny.
Speaking of that, I excuse me. Like I said, I appreciate you taking time to do this. With my audition that I sent in, Kenny, I really appreciate your thoughts and input, kind of when we did the follow-up meeting online, and just wanted to get your thoughts on, you mentioned I didn't quite play the part the way you would normally play it, and just wanted to get your thoughts a little bit on ways to improve on that, or kind of what you thought. I'm not sure if you remember.
I remember.
Well, Ken, what I could do, I could bring it up a little bit because it's only a few seconds long. I don't mind bringing it up for a second.
Yeah, bring it up. I remember what your kit looks like. I remember you doing it, but I can't remember the exact.
I'll tell you what. Let me just see if I can find for you. Just let me see, Ken, because you know what, this is a good question, and I want to make sure that if it's something you're interested in.
Was it the hi-hat? Maybe it was the hi-hat part.
Let's have a quick peek here. I'll show you, Ken. Let's see if I can drag through and find him. Here we go. There's a few. There's we go. Oh, there he is. There's a hard hitter right there. All right, here we go. Here's Dave. Hold on a second. There's Will. Here we go. Here's Kent. So let me just play that, Kent. Let me just see if we can get to that one right here.
Cool. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah. I don't hear it yet. I don't hear it. Do you hear it?
Oh, you don't hear that, Ken? Well, that's interesting if you don't hear that, my fine friend. So let me just jump to this for a second. Hold on a second. Wow, I don't understand why you can't hear that. That's give me 2 more seconds here, and I'm just seeing here that you cannot hear that. That is strange. I don't know why. Let me just try one more time and see if you can hear any of this, because
hey, put it through your computer and then put the mic on it or something.
Can you hear any of that, Ken?
Not yet.
Oh man, that's weird because we can hear that out here. So anyway, I'm going to have to, for right now. Yeah. Sorry, Ken. Kenny can't hear that. I'm sorry about that.
No
I don't know why, Kenny. We'll figure that out later. But maybe you can talk about maybe Kenny can just talk about the complexity of that of that. I mean, that solo is so freaking hard. I mean, it's simple, but it's simple and genius, and it's so hard. I mean, that's probably some of it. Ken, is that right, Ken? Is that sort of what you're referring to?
Oh, that Kent, yeah.
Yes, yeah. We both got the Kens, right? So yeah. Totally. So,
but yeah. Kent, is that sort of the question? Is that like what kind of things that maybe he can recommend that you do to solid up that solo and maybe even some of your other playing? Is that generally it?
Absolutely, yeah. That's it exactly, Peter. Thanks.
Well, I can't remember exactly how you did it, but obviously the first thing is to get that kabam or boom blam, which is and 4. Very important because that's your entrance. That's like there's been a drum machine going all the way up to the second chorus, and all of a sudden you make an entrance. It's got to be powerful, and it's got to be perfectly spot on. 1, 2, 3, boom, blam. Then there's 1/8 note rest. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1. And then you start on the low floor tom, and you play on the and of 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
1, 2, 3, boom, blam, 1, ba-doo-ba. Now, because my reverse my toms, I had to learn to do it differently. But if I didn't reverse it, goo, 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 be-doo, ba. Yeah. So you go, if your toms are in normal order, it's 1 and 2, E, 3, a 4, and so in my case, 18-inch, 16-inch, 12-inch, 10-inch, or 13-inch, 10-inch. You go up the drums. 1, and then you go to the high. The first 3 are like 18, 16, 13, let's say. And then 1, then you go to the high drum, let's say it's a 12-inch, and go back to the second tom. 1, ba-doo. And then the crash cymbal and kick drum. 1. So it's like ba-ba-boo-ba-doom doom.
Now, Ken, let me just jump in for a second. And Kent, if I can, I'm sorry, I know I'm gonna extend a little bit of time for you because I know I'm jumping in on you. But Kenny, what I did, and I haven't showed you yet this thing, because that is always the question. What exactly is that guy doing? And you know what I did with the drum solo you sent me, Kenny, is I slowed it down by 75%.
Oh, cool.
And I just got the intro part. So I'm gonna bring that up and play it. Now we can hear it out in the broadcast. Yeah. I don't know why you're not hearing it on
I want to say I had to do it different because my toms are reversed.
Right? That's what I was thinking.
So I have to go do do do. So I'm going from
well, you'll see in a second. Watch this. Yeah, you're going to see in a second. Hold on. Let me just get everyone together here. And let me just add this. Add to the stream. There we go. Here we go, Ken. So let me just see. And Kenny, we can hear this. So I don't know why you're not, but if everyone else can hear this, I hope. Now, by the way, you did this raw from your camera, Kenny. So for sound-wise, everybody, this is coming directly from his camera. It's not coming through a mixing board. So that's why it sounds super... It sounds actually kind of funky and crazy here, Katie. You're gonna love this. Watch this. But this is at 75% slow, so 25% speed of the intro, Kenny. Let's see if everyone can hear this. So did you see that, Kent? Did you see how I mean, going up, like you said, Ken, going up from the 18, 14, 12, or whatever those numbers specifically were for you. But it gets fascinating to see it in this speed. So of course, it sounds a little strange, but it certainly gives us a perspective of how difficult that is. So Kent, keep going, Kent. I'm sorry. I just wanted to share that because I'll make sure, Kenny, if you're cool with that, maybe we can play that at the end as well so people can have a look at it again.
Yeah.
No, that's great. And thanks, Peter, for showing that. That's a really cool clip of a cool way of looking at that, to slow it down and kind of go back and keep improving on it. You know what I mean? So that's the idea. So super appreciate it. One other question I had. So what tips, Kenny, would you recommend for being more engaged when you play? Like the one thing that I really appreciate about your playing is you're engaged with the audience and you make it look so relaxed and comfortable. So do you have any tips that you would recommend for doing that? And I know you mentioned the Kennedy Center Honors on some of the other interviews. That's a great example of it, just looking, super cool and relaxed and doing that.
Well, because especially if you're on TV like I am and you got cameras, it's very, very important how you look. I'm very aware of how I look. I'm also aware that what you see right now, except for a little bit lower, is what they'll see on TV. A good example is when I did Seth Meyers' show. I came in, I was in the airport in Amsterdam on my way to New York, and I remember thinking, man, I haven't worn a new pair of glasses for about 6 months. I got to get some new glasses, because when you see me on camera, this is what you see right here. Every inch of what you see has to be perfect. So scarf, handcuffs, everything is, but it's got to be authentic. I don't dress up differently to go on TV, except for when the Kennedy Center Honors, they make me wear a long sleeve shirt. But I try to look exactly the way I look if you see me on the street, or if you see me at work in the studio, or I even sleep with these clothes and these glasses. No, just joking. But, I don't just suddenly look different. I look this way 24/7. That's authentic. And this is the way I feel most comfortable. So, but when I got to the studio, the set, at Seth Meyers, I sat on the drum set and I went, wow, this stool's real high. Then I immediately went, where are the cameras? I went, whoa, they're right there. I'm not going to change the stool so that I look good on camera. And so then every night I studied myself and said, yeah, those glasses are perfect. Scarf is perfect. The vest, though, because you're sitting up high, I brought my shoulder down a little bit and caused a little bit of a wrinkle. So the next night, I took care of that. So I'm very aware of how I look, number one, but at the same time, I'm very aware of how I sound.
Yeah.
And I'm very aware of, you're reading music, but you never want to sound like you're reading music. You may be reading something very complicated, or you're doing something very complicated. Always appear that you're cool. And that...
Kenny, we always joke about that. It's hard to find cool people. It's hard to find super cool people, but you're one of them. That's for. Yeah. And Kent, let me just add, and I'm just guessing this as well, because I want to give you a little extra time here with Kenny. Is the interpretation of your question also about the mindset of being prepared to go on those? Is not just the look, Kenny, as in Kenny Aronoff, not just the look, but the actual mental preparation. I mean, that's one thing. It's funny how you didn't even respond to that, because you are so freaking mentally ready and prepared all the time. But Kent, is that part of the question as well? How do you get set for that?
Yeah, I think it's mindset, and too, I appreciate, Kenny, you talking through your process and doing that. That's super influential, I guess, and great inside information. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Kent, listen, we appreciate you calling in. And sorry, Kenny, go ahead. Sorry, did I jump down there? Sorry, Brad.
Well, the mindset thing is very, very heavy. When I was just starting to make it, like with Mellencamp, I was scared shitless. I mean, I'm playing all of a sudden, opening up for the Kinks, and I'm all of a sudden doing American Bandstand, Solid Gold, Saturday Night Live, terrified. Only been in the band for 2 years, and we're about to go. And I'm like, oh my god! I'm playing left-handed. It hurts so good. Everybody in the world can see this. And all of a sudden, we got 2 minutes before hurts so good. And the audience, the people are running around. And all of a sudden, the lady comes running through the audience towards me. Oh my God! It's the makeup audience. She comes up and goes poof, 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 poof to get the shine off my head. The whole audience broke out laughing. I was mortified. If she had done that to me today, I would have just gone, yeehaw! I would have gone, yeah, come on, baby. I would have danced with her because I don't care anymore. But back then, I was scared shitless. Now I don't get nervous. I just get very, very serious and very focused. You have a job to do, and that's part of it is to execute and make it seem like it's easy and look good and be there for everybody and ready at any second for a disaster to happen and you have to solve the problem. I'm totally aware of that. And right before I go on stage, I go over and over the beginning and the ending, the beginning and the ending, the beginning and ending of every song, especially when I do 25 in a row for a TV show and we've never run in the show ever. I practice while they're eating dinner 30 minutes before the show. I'm running beginning to end, so I get the feel of what it's like to go from Loretta Lynn to Don Henley to Jamie James. It's
yeah, the preparation, the mental preparation is super overwhelming. Just talking about it, seriously, it's super overwhelming to think.
It's not casual.
It's not casual, absolutely. Hey, Kent, listen, my friend, we super appreciate you being here on this show. We super appreciate all the work you did to send in that solo, by the way, because I know you used a couple cameras, you did a couple edits, you sent it in, so we super appreciate that, and I hope you got something out of today with being here with Kenny.
Absolutely. Thanks again so much to both you guys for putting this on and love doing it and doing that. So Kenny, when next time you're out in the Vegas area, we'll have to hang sometime. So it's great to hang with you.
Drinks on me.
All right.
All right. That's recorded. We got that recorded for you, Ken. Good to see you, buddy. That's fantastic. But and sorry, I didn't. And from what I hear, Kenny, just so you know, I was playing some of that. People are telling me on the broadcast here they're not hearing the drums either. I can hear it at this end, by the way, so I'm not sure everybody. So I apologize. We won't throw up any more videos right now because you're not able to hear them for some reason, and we'll work on that another time. But Ken had some really good points there about your preparation, and I don't want to go back and talk about it again, but your preparations for especially those Kennedy Center Awards, those are just phenomenal. 15, 20, 30 artists, different genres, different everything, and you're up there, one at a time, just knocking them off, man. That's cool stuff. It's super cool stuff. So appreciate that. All right, let's jump to our next one right here. We're today, everybody, just so you know, we're live with Kenny. We're doing Q&A for the contest winners for the Jack and Diane solo. That's what this show is all about. So thank you for joining us, Kenny. We're out, by the way. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and I'm even pushing it out to LinkedIn. What the heck? We're pushing.
Come on, let's do it.
Hey, let's do it. We're doing it. All right, Mike Higgins. Or Huggins. I keep saying Higgins. It's Huggins. It's Huggins. Come on, Peter. Come on. Read the teleprompter here. Mike, are you there?
Yeah.
Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
We're doing great. Listen, thanks for tuning in and sending in your drum solo. We appreciate that. We know, like I said, you put some work into that, as everyone did. So we super appreciate that, and thanks for being here today. So listen, I'm going to leave you right now. You rock and roll and spend your time with Kenny. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, thank you very much, Kenny. I just want to start off by saying again, thanks for the opportunity. This is very special things.
Awesome. Good. Cool.
Meet somebody such as yourself and have this time to talk. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I also wanted to bring up that you and I have something in common at Monument Mountain High School.
What? You went to Monument Mountain? Okay, Mike, that's incredible. What year did you graduate?
1994.
Oh, I was about 100 by then. No. All right, Mike, tell everybody, not many people know this. What about that mural right out Assembly Hall? Tell people about what you know about that.
Well, I got to tell you that there's been a couple gigs that I've played on that stage, and when I walk past that mural, I always take a moment to pause and look at your name, and that was always kind of a special connection. Yeah.
All right, what happened, everybody, was I graduated in 1971, and I took art class because it was an easy credit in my senior year. And it was a brand new regional high school, and they wanted to have all the art students to design a mural that was going to be this big, huge ceramic mural that was going to cover a whole wall, the entrance to the auditorium, for this at this beautiful school, a big high school, and I mean, I'm not an artist, but I had the right idea that worked. And what it was a big sun. And in the sun, okay, there was a big sun, and there were these two big. I got the idea from I'd gotten this painting in Mexico when I went on vacation with my parents. And these two big birds with like feathers and colors, and they're surrounding the sun with their claws, talons, and it's beautiful. And inside the sun is, I put the initials of the school at Monument Mountain Regional High School, MMRHS. So it really focuses on the spirit of the school. I just thought that was cool. So I ended up winning the contest. I think everybody got a chance to vote. So it wasn't the art majors that won, it was me, because I just came up with the right design. So then everybody, they got people in groups, and everybody, they made a blueprint of this big, huge mural, and they took the design, they took the picture that I had, made it into big squares all over it, like a checkerboard. Then they had to blow 1 inch became 1 foot. And they converted this design into little squares and put it on, and 4 people would have to take ceramic tile and create that square, that section. Take the ceramic and design what they were supposed to do, then paint it, and then they put the whole thing together, and it created that mural. And it's been there since 1970 or 71. It's kind of weird. Nobody knows that about me, but I did that, and it's kind of bizarre. Cool. It's cool. That's incredible.
That's probably things about Monument Mountain High School. I look back.
Wow, we are so connected. What town did you grow up in? Where did you live?
Born and raised in Great Barrington. I'm sitting in Great Barrington right now.
What? Oh my God, that's like 3 miles from my house. My mom still lives in that house on Yale Hill Road. You know where that is? Okay, if you go through, yeah.
One of my best friends, guitar player in my band, went to Monument as well. He's a year older than me. Lives in Stockbridge, probably about a mile from your mom.
Oh my God. Okay, so I have a brother, right?
Oh, yeah, John.
All right, so everybody listening, Mike knows that right now you're looking at my brother because I have an identical twin, and he's a psychoanalyst. So, and this, by the way, this area, Great Barrington's, they've made it look so good. And it's just one of the coolest places to live in America. A lot of people from New York are now moving up to this place because it's so beautiful. Ski areas. It only you can get into Vermont from where I live 45 minutes. You can get to Cape Cod in 3.5 hours. The ocean. You get to Boston in 2 hours. You can get to New York in about 3 hours. A lot of arts, a lot of bright people there. It's an incredible place. So, yeah, I would fly back to visit my mom, but I don't want to, because of the COVID, I'm trying to, I don't want to, give her anything. But that's incredible. Wow. Do you remember a guy called Paul Gibbons?
Oh, yeah, the athletic director. Yeah.
He was my chemistry teacher.
Huge Judas Priest fan.
Dude, so you guys, I'm terrified of, I'm not doing great in school until my junior and senior year, and then I got straight A's. Well, Paul Gibbons was this intense athletic guy, but he taught chemistry and physics. I'm scared to death of him, and I'm scared to death of taking chemistry. Anyway, he taught me how to study. Then I went over to his house to get extra help, and he's got this massive heavy metal rock collection. I'm like, you? And all of a sudden we became buddies. That guy pivoted me into learning how to get straight A's. And what it was basically just don't turn the page when you're studying. I know it sounds so obvious, but I used to look at the page and go, I looked at it, I already know it, because I wanted to play drums, But with chemistry, you can't joke around. So I refused to turn the page until I understood what was on the page. I got straight A's. Paul Gibbons, I just emailed him 3 weeks ago.
Very cool.
Oh my God. This is so cool. That is so cool, Mike. Great Barrington. Wow.
I also have a musical drumming question for you too.
Yeah, sorry.
But if you still have time,
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead.
don't remember not playing the drums. I've played since before I could walk. But
Yeah.
one thing that always eluded me was comprehending or learning how to read music. And so to
Yeah.
this day, I whatever accomplishments I've had on the drums is because of feel and influence.
Yeah.
Going after a genre of music that moves me.
Yeah,
One thing
good.
I spent 2 of your seminars, one at Monument and then the one at Mahaway Theater.
Yeah.
When I watch you sight read music that you may not have seen before, and you play it with that ability and that feel that drummer learning by ear has. You're putting it all together. Professional you're watching, and I'm just enthralled by it. My question for you is, because I don't know how to read music and I'm motivated by the feel and the groove and whatever bandmates I'm playing with at the time, one of the most impressive things that I've ever seen you do was in the 90s when you played Straight No Chaser for the Burning for Buddy, the first one. And you're surrounded by all these great musicians, Buddy's band.
Yeah.
And you're playing Buddy's music. To watch you sight read Straight No Chaser. Now, you're not going to, I could fake it, but somebody that learns by ear is going to have a very hard time doing that. When I saw you sight read Straight No Chaser and play it with Buddy's band, my question to you is, what did that feel like long genres, which I know you normally do, but you're doing it in the 90s on stage. Buddy had just passed, not long before that. What did that feel like to you? And was that hard to kind of fill in those shoes and play with that band?
It was the scariest session of my life. I was terrified. I was scared shitless. First of all, I get a call from Kathy Rich, Buddy's daughter, and tells me about this. So I picked Big Swing Face, which is, first of all, they sent me music, and it was shit. It was like rock and roll, and Buddy didn't play rock and roll good. So I said, listen, if I'm going to do this, I want to play jazz. Because I grew up in Stockbridge, and I used to play jazz at the Red Line Inn with John Sauer, a power trio. And I grew up listening to jazz. My parents were into jazz. So I used to play jazz, and in college, I was in the big bands. So I said, I want to play jazz. All right. So I'm going to do one song. Well, they called me about 3 weeks before this whole thing and say, well, we really want you to do 2 songs. Everybody's doing 2 songs. So they say, we think you should do Straight No Chaser. And that song I wanted to do, but I was scared to death. Everybody who's listening, go look at Straight No Chaser, Burning for Buddy CD. It's blazing fast. Now, so I am not at home practicing. I had three weeks of recording sessions. Check this out. 1 week in Philadelphia with Cinderella, which is rock. 1 week in Nashville with Hank Jr., which is country.
Oh, wow.
Then I was in New Orleans for a while. Then I was up in Canada doing a country record. I was practicing these songs. First of all, because it's Buddy Rich, I wrote down every note, or tried to write every note he played so I would sound authentic. Then I would practice at midnight or 1 in the morning after recording all day long to get ready for that session. No time to memorize this stuff. That's why you saw me reading. When I walked in there, and I'm the last guy to record because I said I might not even make it because I'm recording. They may go an extra day. I walk in, last guy. I'd never met Neil Peart from Rush, so that was already like, whoa. Tama had delivered a Star Classic drum kit. First time I'd ever played a Star Classic drum kit, which was completely different than what I'd been playing, which is the Art Star 2, completely different to tune. Then I'm looking at the band. The band's looking at me like I'm the janitor, like they don't even know who I am. I'm feeling insecure, intimidated. I finally get the drums sounding right. I think that the 12-inch rim system was the wrong size. It was for a 13-inch. I just took it and bent it. I bent it so I could put it on the drum. Anyway, I go to the band and I'm like, oh my God. There's Steve Marcus, this tenor, the saxophone player, the famous saxophone. So we're going over the arrangement, and they had the arrangement was a little different. All right, and this is for big swing face. So, and the big swing face for everybody, it's kind of like zat da 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 boo da 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 da. It's like da 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 da. It's kind of cool, like medium tempo. We play it, and that was the loudest. They were so loud. They were right in front of me, facing me. They were so loud, and they were impeccable time. So I'm reading it, and after 4 takes, I go and listen to it. And I said to Neil, you know what? I got to do it again. It's not good enough. And he says, oh no, you only get 4 takes. I went, whoa, why didn't you tell me that? He said, no, you only get 4 takes. And I'm like, and so they bring in Freddie Gruber, this old jazz guy who used to live with Buddy. Said, Freddie, what do you think? He's smoking a cigarette. The kid did good. The kid did good. So that's it. So now it's straight no chaser. And I'm like, whoa, okay. Like getting on a bull. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And they wanted it fast. 1, 2, 1, 2, it's like a ding, 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 ding. It's blazing, and I'm playing it, and I'm going like, oh my God, this sounds great. And I'm going, I looked at my hands, I'm like, who the hell is playing? I had an outer body experience. I was like, who's playing? This can't be me. And then I said to myself, hey, dude, who's ever playing, don't get in that guy's way because he's doing a great job. Because you know how your mind you could make yourself fail. So I got through it, and you know that solo at the end? Dude, how many times do you take a solo and I blew it? Every single note was like perfect. And I was just completely made it up on the spot. Made it up complete. All I kept thinking is, make it feel like the song. Make it feel like the song. And I kept trying to channel Buddy Rich's spirit. Like, what would he do? And I can't play like him, but dude, I got so friggin' lucky. Oh my God.
No, first of all, you can play like him, Kenny. First of all, you can. And second, it's not luck. Just so you know.
Oh, man, I was crapping in my pants. Dude, that was the scariest session of my life.
You played match
what?
During the whole.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
That was awesome.
Okay. Good point. Okay. So I had to make a decision. Do I switch to this? And do I use lighter sticks? I went, no, you better not. You better do. You got enough problems. Just do what you're comfortable with. So you're right. All that. See, when you play for the people, when you play the match grip with the left hand, where is it? There. You can get that. It dances like Fred Astaire dancing, easier than this way. Because when you play with the traditional grip, the stick naturally bounces off the drum easier. So I had to make that decision, and when I was practicing at 1 in the morning, I was very aware of what you just said.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Hey, listen, I got to jump in. Sorry, this is the hardest part of this whole job is being the producer and jumping in for time-wise. So I'm so sorry about doing this. Yeah. But Mike, listen, Mike, I envy the fact that you live so close to Kenny's mom because she's my new favorite person now in the whole world. And you're so close, and I hope to see her one day. But you're really close to her, and the stories of you guys being so close to the same high school, that's magical stuff. Thank you for sending in your drum solo. So we thank you for that. I know you took some time to put that together, man, and that's.
Can I say
Go
one
ahead.
thing for you? I'd be remiss if I didn't say I was starting to shy away from this because it made me nervous. My wife Colleen, who's met you at the cafe in Stockbridge, really pushed me to do this and wanted me to do it. So if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So a big shout out to her. I'm very thankful to her, Peter.
Awesome.
That's a big shout out, brother. Yeah, no, hey, listen, we all need someone like that in our life to push us a little forward. Hey,
I love that cafe. That cafe's got the greatest food.
That's fantastic, Mike. Hey, that's not a casual shout out, by the way. So that's worth the jump in there.
Damn.
I appreciate you doing that.
I want to get on a plane tomorrow and fly home for Thanksgiving. I got it. I'm ready to come home.
Right.
We'll rock.
All right, Mike. Listen, good to see you, my friend, and thank you for your question. Thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for the solo. We appreciate that, and you take care of yourself out there, okay, brother?
And thank your wife for pushing you to do that.
There you go. Shout out.
Is she right there? Where is she?
Give us a little jump on.
Come on.
There she is.
Oh, I know you. How you doing? Oh my God, that is so cool. God, you guys are making me homesick. I want to come back. Are you guys open right now?
I'm not any longer, but I think right now they're able to do table service, but that's going to be closing fairly soon, I suspect.
Yeah. Well, God, dude, you guys, the food there is amazing. All right, well,
awesome. Hey, Mike, that was a good shout out. That was the right shout out right there. Good to see you, my friend. You take care of yourself.
Awesome. Woo! That was
cool. Right?
Oh my God!
Wow, sweet. Same high school. I mean, come on. How cool is that? That's pretty. Cool. Come on, that's a tiny world, man. That's a tiny world.
I mean, that school, you didn't even have 3,000 people there. It was like a small little high school.
Wow, that's incredible. That's so cool. Hey, I love this shout out though. You always got to shout out to the person who's kind of lifting you up and inspiring you to be better, right? So it's that's the right thing to do. Hey, we're going to jump to Jesse. I see you back there, Jesse. Thanks for coming on, buddy. And let me just see if I can get Jesse on board. Super appreciate your patience for sitting back there. Let me see if we can get him in. Jesse, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Well, thank you for showing up, and thanks for sitting in the background there and waiting for your opportunity. We appreciate that, and thanks for sending in your drum solo. I know that Kenny. He's the gentleman that was doing some basement renovations. He said, "Hey,
the drum sounded amazing,
didn't they?" I thought there you go.
Done. Like we had to finish the basement, so.
Don't finish it. Don't finish it.
Pretty proud one. I don't know how great it's going to sound, but I'll make it sound good no matter what it looks like.
That was cool, man. That sounded good.
That sounds cool, man. Well, thank you for sending in that. We know that you did it a couple of times. You sent it in. We appreciate it. You were emailing me and making sure we had it and all that stuff. So Thank you for that. And I'll throw you to Kenny. You have your conversation. You go ahead, my friend.
Yeah. Back to your last caller, man. Honestly, we just moved here and I saw the contest come up and I was like, I don't have the time. I don't have the place to do it. And my wife said, you just set them up and do it. So,
that's great.
I kind of put it off. You extended the contest. I'm like, okay, set it up. Did it one time.
Takes a lot of work, doesn't it?
It does. To set up the whole kit.
Yep.
A couple minutes, but wow, who knew? But
that's awesome, dude.
He pushes me, man.
I love it. So where are you right now, Jesse Lee?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Dude, know it well. I mean, I lived in Bloomington. Bloomington. I mean, that's an hour and 20 from Bloomington, 46 from Bloomington to Nashville, Indiana, 17 miles. Then you take 17 miles more to 65. Then you go south to Louisville. Bam!
Yeah, you might be familiar with Jeffersonville, Indiana as well.
Absolutely.
I saw some drum clips back in my day, Mom's Music.
Mom's Music, and there was another music store on the Indiana side. What was that called?
Far Out.
It was Far Out.
Yeah.
Far Out Music and Mom's Music. I know it well.
Yeah. But,
oh my God.
A little bit of me, man. A few years ago, my wife set up a scavenger hunt for me throughout the house to find all these little clues, and it came down to. All of a sudden, I got to call into work the next morning, and I got to drive to Columbus to a drum clinic to see Kenny Aronoff. But I wasn't sure what the prize was. She handed me a CD in the morning and said, "Put this in and start driving." And it was anything from Kelly Clarkson, Avril Lavigne, Don Fogerty, John Bon Jovi with "Blaze of Glory," and of course Mellencamp songs. And I'm like, okay, this has something to do with him. And I
Oh
drove
my
up.
God, she's amazing.
Yeah, she got me a one-on-one with you.
Oh
And
my God.
and
Damn.
we didn't play. We talked the whole time. The
What was
whole
oh, well, yeah, that a lot of times that happens because sometimes the talking is heavier than the playing.
That was the best thing about
I mean, the thing is, anybody can teach drums, but
it. Yeah,
I shouldn't say anybody can, but the head is what controls the drummer in what
yeah,
he's going to play or she's going to play. So
yeah,
the head stuff is really the most important thing.
yeah. So it was amazing, man. We sat down for a good hour or so. I learned
Yeah.
from, and then you asked me for my money, and I thought she already paid you. So I go down, dude. I mean, it was snowing like crazy. I drove down the street to an ATM, and my card got stuck in the machine. And I'm like, oh my God, I was waiting for my
Oh
money
my.
down the road, and I can't get my card out. But it finally popped out, and I came back and paid you, man. And
Oh, you did? Are you sure? I feel like I forget if you did. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's all good. Hey, I was in Louisville, Kentucky, maybe a year and a half ago playing at the Bourbon Fest. It was the Fogerty and the Foo Fighters and
really,
Joan Jett.
I wanted to go
That's
to that.
that's badass. That festival is badass. For everybody listening, what it is, you have two big ass stages next to each other, and they're enclosed, so you can't see. It's like a wall, you know. And so when the Fogerty's playing, the Foo Fighters crew is setting up on the other stage, so the audience gets to go from looking at Fogerty and they just shift over to the other stage, and it's that way all day long. And
Hmm.
one weekend is more traditional rock, and then the next weekend might be metal, and the next weekend might be country.
Hmm.
It's a really cool festival.
That's really great, man. We didn't get to go to that, but if you ever back in the Louisville or Southern Indiana area, man, I'd love to know. Whenever this world gets back to normal, of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my son lives in Bloomington, so I got to get back there, and I got to get back to Massachusetts, where the other guy was on, to see my mom. So both these calls, I have to get back to these places. Louisville is just like, and Nick, my son, loves going down to Louisville because Louisville started to become one of the coolest cities in America.
Hmm.
Did you know that?
Oh man,
It's
it's grown so much since I've been around. I've been here my whole life.
Yeah, it's really come around. It's got a lot of new industry there. It's become. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. The best old fashioned I've ever had in my life was in there. Because let me tell you, everybody, Kentucky knows their bourbon. Every other place is just they're trying to be like Kentucky. Kentucky knows their bourbon,
All
and
over.
they have the women there make great wives. I hear, as what you just told me, your story about your wife making a CD.
She pushes
That's
me more than I push myself. She really does.
that's great. That's great. Well, tell her she's cool. I haven't met her, but tell her she's cool.
I'm pretty sure she's watching right now. She's over at the in-laws right now having dinner, waiting on
All
me.
right. What's her name?
Her name is Rhonda.
Rhonda? Help me, Rhonda.
Sitting there
Nice
with
to meet
my
you.
boy Maddox and my little girl Lucy, waiting on Daddy.
All right. Well,
That's
I won't
fantastic.
keep you.
No,
Do you have another question though for Ken? You got some time here, Jesse?
yeah, man. A while back ago, I actually submitted a question to your show asking about the ride symbol that you used, mainly around the Scarecrow and Lonesome Jubilee time. And you mentioned it was a rock ride. So I started.
Yeah.
You got the A series, the A custom, which is what I play. You got
That's what I play.
Do you know which
That's
one
what
it was?
All right, the Rock Ride, I think the A Custom, 21-inch A Custom ride is way better than the Rock Ride. The problem with the Rock Ride, but it worked fine. God, I was just listening to some of those Mellencamp records. Oh my God, those things were mixed and mastered so well. The recordings are the drum sounds are unbelievable. Everything, but the ride cymbal with the Rock Ride, the thing that it's great for like live because the ride part of it, it's so dry and you hear every ping of the stick, and the bell is real loud. But the A custom projection ride rings a little bit. It's a little bit more musical, in my opinion. It's not just for rock. I can use the A custom projection ride, 21-inch. I prefer. Has a killer bell when you want to play a rock and roll. Drive it. But when that cymbal on the side of it, when you play it, it's so musical. You can play it for all genres of music, all styles. You can play. It sounds good soft, sounds good medium, it sounds good live. That's still my favorite. I mean, the cymbal's like the sweet ride, but it's very washy, very washy. So live, it's like you hit. It's like you can't hear the definition. A projection 21 is a killer ride cymbal.
And you said that was the A custom.
And that's what you have, right?
I play all A custom, yeah. Only I don't have a rock ride. It's just the A custom, like 20-inch ride.
That's good, but that's a great ride cymbal. The next thing, what size crashes do you use?
16, 17, 18, and I got a China and an 8-inch splash and 13-inch hi-hats.
Okay, now everything I do is big. I have 15-inch hi-hats in my studio right over there. I have 16-inch hi-hats. And then I have all 19-inch Ks now. 19-inch dark K crashes. Because cymbals are so bright that I wanted to make the K crashes still are bright, but they have a warmth to them, and they don't get in the way of the guitars or other things that have high frequencies. But yeah, all 19 inches across the board.
Wow. So, mainly, I think on like Lonely All Night and Scarecrow, your cymbals, the sound dissipates so quickly. It's
you know why? Because those were rock. Those were 18-inch rock crashes, and the metal is so thick that they dissipate right away. So but oh my God, it's like hitting a lead pipe. Yeah. So I mean, those cymbals. So you hit them, but then they die quick, and that's what was good about it.
Interesting, man. It's I kind of put that with you when it's your snare drum, it's your ride, it's cymbals, man. You got that signature of things when I hear.
Yeah.
Mainly,
that's very true. That's very true about that sound, though, Kenny. Like you said, that everyone's familiar
with.
The
real signature is that.
I was going to say.
That's the signature.
I'm going to say it's because the way you hit as well. So, hey, listen, Jesse, I gotta jump off through another call, my friend. This is the hard part of the producing job, which is I know that you guys can stick around and chat for a bit, but hey, Kenny, I appreciate you sharing that. Like you said, Jesse, he has a very distinct sound, and it's always interesting to hear, what the hi-hats, whether it's a 13, 16, what is it? Where are those sounds coming from? Jesse, thanks for putting that together. I know you were doing your development of your basement when you did it. The kit sounded cool, man. The kit sounded cool. So we appreciate that. And thank you for being on the show today. We super appreciate you putting in your solo.
Take care, buddy, and say hi to Rhonda and have a great Thanksgiving.
I will. Thank you all so much. Same to you.
And if I come to Louisville, I'm gonna have an old fashioned with you.
You're gonna have old fashioned. I know you're right about that. I mean, Kentucky. It's kind of hard to find bourbon down there. Bourbon all day, man. Bourbon all day. Hey, we're gonna jump to the next guy. Wait till this next guy comes up. Watch this guy. Watch this guy, Kenny. And the hair on it. Will, you better get ready, Will. I see you in the background.
Oh, this is the hair guy.
This is the hair guy, the flip into the sticks guy, and all. Like, this hair is old, everybody. I'm just saying, this is like 1987 Bon Jovi kind of thing. Like, but this guy, like, I just want to trade like right now. This guy's like rock star stuff. It's really cool. And because he did the switching, and that's the guy to put the foot up on the hi-hat at the end there, buddy.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that? We're like, what the heck was he doing there? But he did it. Okay, Will, you ready to rock and roll?
Oh yeah, man.
Will, how are you, buddy?
Whoa, dude, the hair, it's even more.
You look at that guy.
Yeah, it's something.
That is something, man. You're like a rock star already, man. It's really cool, man.
If I had hair like that, I'd be Kenny Aronoff.
I gotta try and use it while I have it.
Oh man, trust me, it goes. Trust me, it does. So see that. Hey, listen, we appreciate that kit you sent in. You're down in the basement next to your old style, Kenny. He's down there in the basement, right next to the furnace, kicking out a drum solo. We appreciate that. It looks like you play a bit because, of course, you're twirling the sticks. You do all your thing. So that was really, really cool.
Definitely, yeah. Thank you. It was fun to do it.
Yeah, fantastic. Hey, you go ahead with Kenny. Hey, listen, I'm going to jump out. You go ahead with Kenny and have the conversation. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Oh, definitely. Man, I'm trying to think of what to even say.
Where are you?
I'm actually up in Schaumburg right now.
Oh, I know. That's in Illinois. Schaumburg.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
That's-
from Dyer, Indiana, right? But I'm here right now.
Yeah, I know exactly, Sean. I played at this club there called Beginnings. It doesn't exist
okay.
anymore. It's with the drummer, Danny Serafin from Chicago had that. He created that.
Oh,
that,
no kidding.
That club. Yeah. That's where John Mellencamp got re-signed after he lost his record deal.
Huh.
It was crazy. He was doing a showcase up in Schaumburg at Beginnings, and he thought he was going to be the only band there, and there was 5 bands. He was pissed off. But when he performed with such gusto and drive. There was a guy that was there looking at another band. That guy that was there looking at another band worked for Billy Gaff in London, and Billy Gaff was a manager for Rod Stewart.
Oh, okay.
So that guy got on the phone and said, Billy, the band you want me to check out's not so good, but this kid is really good. And that started the whole thing.
Oh, no kidding.
Right where you live right now.
That's fantastic. Go ahead. No, go ahead with your question there, Will. Go ahead, buddy.
I say, so the question I had thought about doing the hired gun stuff. Now, I also saw the movie. That was awesome. It was really cool to see all the stuff behind the scenes and just how everything works. And that was something I wanted to actually do since I was 13. That was when I got my first band. I'm like, well, of course I want to do this.
Yeah.
What is the best advice you can give to someone who wants to go into that kind of thing, or pieces of advice?
Well, it's a whole different ball game now than it used to be. I mean, it used to be, you practice your butt off, become great at your instrument, you get with other people, and then you create this epic team, and you write songs, and you create a band style and vibe, and then you get signed, you make a record, you get management, and the end game was it was a way to make a lot of money, because when records sold, record labels make 82 cents on the dollar,
right,
or 85. And so there's a couple of records behind me. See that Meatloaf record right over my eye, one of my eyes?
Yeah.
That sold over 40 million copies. So and on the other side, over on that side, let me see my hand, right there where that finger's, that one right there, that's Celine Dion, over 40 million records. So 82 cents times 40 million. That's 80 million records I got on my wall just for those two artists.
Jeez.
So somebody made a hell of a lot of money. The label, everybody made money. That money doesn't exist anymore because nobody's buying records. So that unfortunately has changed the playing field. Then, and I don't mean to be negative, I'm just telling you how it is. So everybody went down the rabbit hole of playing live. Well, now, because of COVID, that kind of screwed everything up. So the business model for music is very limited right now. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't play music and play. Look at bottom line. If playing the drums and playing in a band and playing music makes you feel good, God damn it, you should do it every day. Even if you have to have 3 jobs doing something you don't like, it's worth it. In order to have a great feeling playing music. Man, anything that makes you feel good, joy, love, positive energy, you have to do that, man. There's enough stuff out there in this world that'll make you miserable and unhappy. So if you find something that makes you happy, not only is that good for you, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, but the ripple effect of your joy and happiness affects all the people around you. So you're not only doing a good service to you, but you're doing a great service to everybody else around you. And man, life is a challenge. Life is an incredible challenge, and it's all good, even when you're suffering, because all that suffering has a purpose. I like to think of things very positively. I like to think of things like, trust me, dude, there's a family member that's been going through a hard time, and it hurts me to see that person go through a hard time, but I've learned so much by working with that person through that hard time. Because it's my family member, I can't turn my back on them, so I'm very, very close and involved. But I've been sitting there going like, man, this sucks, but I've been thinking, I'm learning some heavy stuff about life that affects me through this whole thing. So what I'm saying is I'm very positive, even when things are are not always easy. So if you're getting love and joy and excitement playing music, you got to do it. Now, right now is a very difficult time to make it. I mean, so there's different things you can do. You know, do you play in a band right now?
Actually, in a few.
Well, there you go, man. That's awesome right there. Just the fact that you can say you're in a few bands, that's cool because it makes you feel good to play music, right?
Oh, yeah.
You may not be making money doing it, but what's the alternative? Just working and wishing you were in a band? You're in a band. It just so happens that's considered big time right now. Big time. You're playing in a band. So that's good. And just keep doing that. Keep making music and write music, maybe record music, and wait for all this crap to lift, and it will eventually. Nobody thought the Civil War was going to ever end, and it did. And nobody thought that, whatever. All these disasters eventually go away. People go back to trying to make it and live and be happy. So if you're playing in a band, couple bands, you're doing really, really good. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Write songs. And when this thing lifts, you guys will be ready to kick ass.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Kenny. Like you said about his ability to jump around from band to band. I'm guessing as well, Will, is that you might be playing in different styles. The bands are different styles.
Yeah. I've been able to travel with a progressive death metal band. My main project right now is a rock blues band, and I've played with country artists, done Blues Hall of Fame stuff. I've been able to do a cool variety, and then radio show stuff, the pits and like musicals and stuff.
Oh, that's good. So you read music.
Yep.
Dude, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah.
You're doing great considering the times we're in right now.
Yeah, you're way ahead of the game, brother. Like, let's just be clear here. Like, and I know you're a young guy. I mean, so, I mean, hey, Kenny, our T-shirts are older than this guy. Okay, just so you know, we have T-shirts.
Wait. Let's define what is young.
I'm 22.
He's 22, brother. Come on, man.
But Peter, he may be 22, but he may be more mature than me.
Oh,
so he may be 22, but I might be acting like an 18-year-old, so he's actually older than me.
That's a very good point. No, but back to what you were just talking about, Will, is the fact that you're playing in multiple different genres and different bands and so on. This is very much what Kenny has done. Kenny, you've made a career out of being able to bounce across all genres, all different verticals of Billboard, and that's going to keep you working. I think that's a very powerful thing.
The main thing is if you're playing with different genres, that means people are accepting you as somebody who can do anything. That's a very difficult thing to accomplish.
Yeah.
Because people think about it. So I toured with the Smashing Pumpkins. What? But then, he recorded with Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings. What? Why would they want the Smashing Pumpkins drummer? Or why would the Smashing Pumpkins drummer want? And then, he played with Ray Charles, B.B. King, Buddy Guy, Bonnie Raitt in the blues world. What? Oh, and he did an album with Tony Iommi from Sabbath and Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple. What? And then, Avril Lavigne, Alanis Morissette, Hilary Duff, whatever. I mean, it's Elton John, Bob Seger, Stevie Ray Vaughan, you name it. So if you are doing what you're doing, just keep doing exactly what you're doing. And when this COVID thing lifts up, you will actually look at it like this. This is an opportunity to learn and grow and get better and better and better. While you don't want to be the one sitting on your ass waiting for this to come back. Because the people who are working their ass off right now, when this thing lifts, you'll be a guy like you will be on top of a mountaintop ready to go. Where some people are going to be at the bottom of the mountain ready to climb.
Yeah, hey, like that analogy. That's really good. Hey, listen, Will, I hate to eat and run with you. I love the hair. I mean, they're so jealous of the freaking hair. I love that. Yeah. And man, at 22, reading music and playing in multiple bands, brother, you're much farther ahead in the game than you can ever realize. It's hard to see when you're 22. Ken, I'm just making you're absolutely right. It's all state of mind. But at the fact that when you're 22 years old, you really can't see out. We can look back because we're older, but when you're 22, believe me, Will, you'll be 30 before you blink. And then I'm telling you, it goes fast. No, it does. It really goes fast, brother. So just enjoy the ride right now, man. You are in a really cool pocket of time in your lives. So it's so we super appreciate you being here, and thanks for sending in that cool solo, man. You got the stick work going, got the foot up on this and the kick on the on the hi-hats at the end. Hey, rock star stuff, man.
That was good.
Oh, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and you got a cool voice, by the way, too. Use that. You might want to do some voiceovers too, just so you know. Good to see you, my friend. Wow, that kid is. He's. I'm gonna watch for that name. That's a cool name, Will Wyatt. I mean, if you had a name like Will Wyatt, God,
that's great.
It's almost like Sheriff Will Wyatt. It's like he should be in a movie of some sort or something like that.
He might be. I got to text. I'm gonna text everybody. I'm gonna text my engineer because he's gonna be coming by any minute now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're going to keep going, Ken. I'm going to jump on. We got a couple more people to jump on and say hello to you, and then we'll get you off to your session. Okay. So sorry.
I'm gonna say, hey, David.
Sorry for keeping you, man.
That's all right. I'm a big talker. Hey, I'm saying, hey, Dave, I'm still doing a podcast.
Just tell them that. We'll jump. You keep telling them that. I'm going to jump on and grab my next guest here, Ron. I see you in the background, Ron. I hope you're there, buddy. Ready to rock and roll. Kenny, you finish up your text there, and hopefully your engineer will understand.
Well, I might.
We'll keep you for another 20 minutes. That's it. You got 20 minutes, Ken?
Yep.
Okay, buddy. We'll keep it for 20 more minutes. Okay. Ron, let's get Ron in here. Ron, how are you, my friend?
Hey, guys. Hey, Kenny. Hey, Peter.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, hey, thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for hanging in there. And thanks for sending in your solo. Kenny, if you don't know, if you can remember, he was in just a room completely by himself. So the acoustics were fantastic. And he sent that in. He had the cool, long rock and roll hair. He's got it hidden tonight. He's got it hidden today.
It's pulled back.
No. Yeah, it's pulled back. That's all cool, man. That's all cool. Well,
you know that room. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we appreciate you doing that. Here, I'm just going to you talk with Kenny. I'm going to jump out, take the time away. You rock and roll with Kenny. Go ahead, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you so much. Hey, Kenny, you know that room that I was in, that was in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and I've recently moved back to my hometown of Harlingen, Texas. We got hit with two major hurricanes.
Oh, dude.
Hurricane Laura and Delta. And actually, that house, I was packing up to move. I was leaving.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's why it was a big empty room, and the acoustics were kind of cool. But
wow,
yeah,
that's it.
I packed up all my drums, and they're all ready to go. And I was going to leave Louisiana, and we had no power, no internet for a while. And then when power came back, I caught the fact that you were having this Jack and Diane drum solo contest.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm going to try out. So I took my drums out of storage. I put everything back together. Wow. I got up the next morning, cup of coffee, and I charted out what I could, the best I could.
Yeah.
And sent it in the last minute, you know.
Wow, that's a great story. Thanks for sharing that with me. You were doing it in between hurricanes. It's like, that sounds like what I would do. Great attitude.
Yeah, I guess my question, go ahead. Yes, sir.
No, what's your question?
I was going to say my question to you is in terms of the music business. Like I just mentioned, I've left Louisiana and I'm starting all over again in South Texas. You know, what kind of advice you have to a person who's going to audition, how to prepare for auditions, networking, good ways to do that, and how to build a reputation that way when that opportunity happens, you're able to hit the ground running.
Those are all great questions. Very, very important. As far as preparing for an audition, always ask them, what do you want me to do in the audition? And if there's any opportunity to do more than they ask you, like if they say, just pick a couple songs on this album, learn them all. And also research who you're playing with or auditioning for. Do as much research as you can to understand the people or the band or the artist you're going to be auditioning for. And always just be humble and be easy to get along with. Show these people, because when they're auditioning, they're not just auditioning how good you play. They're auditioning, okay, when we play with this guy, it's going to be for 90 minutes or 2 hours or whatever. But if you're going on the road, there's another 22 hours that they're gonna have to spend time with you. So they're sizing you up. When I get called to go, let's say when I got called to go on the Smashing Pumpkins tour, I know that some of the reason why they picked me because they knew they were going to have no problems with me, 0, and I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Now, as far as networking, social media, which is a digital platform these days that everybody's looking at, so you got to have a presence there. It's hard to grab everybody's attention when you don't have a reputation because everybody's trying to grab everybody's attention. You still have to do it though. Create, do you have any social media? Do you have Twitter? Do you have Facebook? Do you have Instagram?
Just Facebook. I really need to get into the other ones for sure.
Yeah. Ken, let me add to that, Kenny. Let me just jump in real quick on that, just so you know. Kenny, and Kenny's been down this road, just so you know. Kenny has transitioned some of his business model, not just from recording and traveling, but he's on the road and so on. Ron, what he's done is he's also gone into the professional speaking business and has, basically adjusted and changed some of his business model so that he can adapt and creating content about speaking and so on. So that's some of the point that I know for sure definitely works, that you have to have content. Content is king. You have to be creating some sort of content for yourself. And you can't just casually say, yeah, I'll kind of do that or kind of do this. This is why sometimes Kenny and I jump on and kind of create these kinds of shows. It keeps Kenny connected with different verticals of his business, different verticals of his audience and so on. So you're going to have to do the same thing when it comes to networking for sure. Would that be true, Kenny? Yeah.
Absolutely, especially now with, social media or digital platform is the way you have to be able to connect with people more than ever now. It's just the way. It is the way. And then the town you live in, you want to make sure, clubs aren't open right now, but you want to be where the musicians go. You want to be where the music scene is. You want people to know that you live there. You want people to know that you're ready to play, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, I know, before COVID, the gigs were happening. I had a weekly jazz gig. I'd play every Sunday and every Tuesday with a really awesome quartet and other things, and like I said, the rock and the country, and I played in a contemporary Christian group, and that's where I really got all my charting skills really defined, because every week it was always something different, something new. Exactly. Yeah, so I've got this filing cabinet full of just all kinds of different stuff, depending on the genre, what have you.
That's great that you can read, because it definitely makes it more possible to learn a lot of music in a very short period of time and get the job done.
Absolutely. So Ron, now moving back to a new city again, are you moving back to a band? Are you moving back to where you have a base of musicians that you can start what Kenny was talking about, getting back into the community and having those conversations?
Well, I've been here 1 week. I've been back home in my hometown for 1 week.
Wow.
And I've been, going out the best you can during COVID and try to network a little bit. But the goal for me, the plan is hopefully by the summer, I've been researching Los Angeles or Nashville and try to make something happen there. But of course, all this is still kind of unsure until we get through all this pandemic thing.
Yeah, it's a very difficult time to do anything, especially when it comes down to networking and engaging with people. But, just keep playing, keep doing the best you can so that you are up and running when this COVID thing gets better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think that's right now. I'm practicing a lot. So, yeah.
No, that's great advice, Kenny. I like that you said that a couple times throughout the show today, which is, there's going to be people when this starts moving in the right direction again, they're going to be going, oh, maybe I should start practicing again. It's like, no, man, this is the time to be doing it. So Ron, for you, is just like you said, man, just keep doing what you're doing there, and then reconnect with people that are in your local community and content, brother. Content is, you have to create content, and whether it's Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, whatever is your feel good place to go to. And the reason why I keep mentioning this is because Kenny and I think about how to create content for him, moving into LinkedIn, for example, because his speaking business is starting to take off and it's moving in the right direction. So now he has to create more content for that. And you'll find the same thing for you, is that you'll make content and some of it will work, and you adjust to that and you stay connected with people that way.
Right on. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope that helps you. But hey, listen, that was an unbelievable story that you just said, that you were packing up in the middle of hurricane to throw into the contest, man. That's hardcore, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, like I said, it was just, I decided to unbox my drum kit and put it together and, try to turn it out the best I could, and sent it in, and I got it in probably that morning of the deadline. So.
Well, we appreciate it,
That's
man.
great, man.
That's a cool story. Like you said, Kenny, that sounds like something you would do.
Definitely. I'd wait for the hurricane to come.
There you go. Well, Ron, listen, good luck to you, my fine friend. Good luck in the move. And, here's another one-liner for you, man. Just stay patient. I'll tell you, patience is going to always serve you right now, because some people are going to be very impatient and make some not so good decisions. Stay patient with the way your career is going to go. And, keep following people like Mr. Kenny Aronoff. He'll steer you in the right direction. Good to see you, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Kenny, so much.
See you,
Good
buddy.
to see you.
Good luck.
That is fantastic. What a cool story that was. I mean, the guy was trying to get out of Dodge.
I love it. Great commitment. I would have done the same thing. God damn, that's incredible. I love it.
Yeah, that is super cool. Okay, listen. We saved one more for you, Kenny. I know this has been a marathon for you, so I super appreciate it. We just literally crossed over the 2-hour mark. Yeah. So I promised you 2 hours. We got 10 more minutes here. I'm going to steal from someone you know. This is a class act. This is class act coming up right here. This is class act. I don't know what it is about this person. I think she's a rock star. She really is. She's a rock star. So let's bring on Sarah. How are you?
What's up? I'm doing good.
You.
How are you guys?
We're doing great.
Sarah, I want to see you. I thought I was going to see Sarah go flying across.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that. You guys, she sent me a picture that is so goddamn badass. It looks like a flyer for a movie, but like a martial arts movie. The most perfect form.
Right.
It looks like she's about, 20 feet up in the air and going across a road. Oh, here's my engineer.
All right. Oh, get your engineer. Sarah, good to see you. And thank you for sending in your, your solo and all that kind of stuff. We super appreciate it. I'm going to put him on mute for a second.
You're welcome.
That was you did a super job. And just, I think we said it publicly. But I'll get Kenny. I just put him on mute. So look, this is live right now. He's going to leave it to me. That's okay. I just love the fact that you did that, and you did that to the drum track itself, though, didn't you? I mean, because the timing was literally impeccable. But I think were you listening to the track as well? Would you play along with the track? Do you remember?
So I have this thing. It's called a Yamaha EAD10.
Okay.
And basically what I can do is put the track in the ears.
Got it.
And I can go back and edit it and take the tracks out and just leave the drums in there.
Beautiful.
But I use that to help me. When recording it, but I also had practiced this a ton too, because I did online international female drumming competition a couple years ago called Hit Like a Girl. And I did a medley of songs from like jazz all the way to today's modern music, and in that I did the Jack and Diane drum solo that led into Phil Collins in the Air of the Night. So I had practiced that. So I had practiced that Jack and Diane solo over and over. So it's like I played it till I was blue in the face. So yeah, I practiced a lot to get good at that.
Kenny, are you back with us? Yeah, I got you.
Yes, I am.
All right, but I just put you on mute so no one can hear your conversation.
Yeah, I had to get my engineer in.
It's all good. It's all good. No, we got you squared off. Hey, you know what? Let's just throw this up. I'm hoping now that earlier I was trying to play something that you can hear. I think I got this solved now. So I'm gonna throw this up and show everyone what we considered pretty much I think this was the best solo, to be frank with you. I mean, I think we talked about that, Kenny, so I don't think I'm giving away any secrets here. I think we talked about it and we said, so let's have a quick peek at this one. Sarah, this is you, the track that you sent in to us, and I hope everyone can hear this.
First of all, the groove is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But the last, boom blah, do 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 ba do do ba do 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 ba do do do, go high, medium, low, ga goo goo goo, not do 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 da. I think you went up. It's ga goo goo.
Yeah, I went up.
Yeah, and you go so whatever you go the highest tom, the middle tom, the next tom. But it doesn't matter. I mean, if you want to be perfect, then. But I was just pointing out. But man, it felt. It was so good.
The groove on that is so cool. I'll just go play the intro that you just talked about, Ken, with those the way you were talking about going up. I'll just play the beginning of it.
Yeah. Great, you got the sound. So see how 3, 4.
I know, but I wanted to put up I just wanted to see it's pretty cool that again it's such a question mark, and then what's it like? What exactly is he doing there?
I know it's tricky, man. Because even because I reversed my toms, I was like, wait a minute, because when I recorded it back in the day, I didn't reverse my toms yet. I don't think. So I had to go, do, ba-do-ga, and...
You were crossing over your hands because your smaller drum wasn't moved over to by the ride cymbal yet. Yeah. But Sarah, like your groove, man, is just fantastic. Yeah. It really is. It's super cool. It's
she's worked
trying to put it.
Go ahead.
Trying to put that 10,000 hours in.
Oh yeah, well, you know what? You'll get 30,000.
I have a funny feeling.
Because I mean, Jesus, I must be at 40 right now.
That's for sure.
You know what I mean? It just never ends. But man, that's so cool. You're man, I mean, she's
just a hard hitter too. I just love the hard hitting.
Yeah, but Sarah's just a committed person trying to do everything right. And she's always just got a great attitude, and that was so. I mean, it's that solo and what you just did is just the end result of a lot of hard work and commitment for 15 years at this point. I don't know. It's just been it pays off. It becomes everything, Sarah, you do is at that level because you have the foundation for martial arts and practicing the drums. So everything is always at that level. That's the way I operate my life. Even when I clean up the dog shit that the dog just did last night, because, I was gone all day and I got to clean it right before I can do anything. I come in, I don't even put my bags down, dog shit, clean it up, get the Clorox bleach, scrub it down. And then I dry it off. Then I got to have everything. It's got to be done right.
And hey, there's a shout out. There's a shout out right there. Just so you know, Sarah, that is saying that we have to check out your YouTube channel. So I just thought I'd throw that up for everybody to go and check out your YouTube channel as well. And I don't want to eat and run really fast, but Kenny's got that engineer waiting for him. So do you have a specific thing you want to chat with Kenny about, or a question that you might have for him?
I do have a question for Kenny. So my band, I we've been working on some originals. We've been putting a lot of work in during this downtime, so we've been working on writing some originals.
Good.
Any advice for me going into the studio writing music, like being able to write my own drum parts for the first time and having like being able to write whatever I want for whatever the track is that we're doing. I get full like creativity to do whatever I want. Any advice for somebody who's doing this the first time?
I do. When somebody starts playing a song, what do you do? Somebody like start playing it on acoustic guitar or something, or electric guitar. What do you hear? Do they play you something first? Like when you go into the studio.
So basically what happens when my bass player wrote the song. Our bass player and guitar player wrote the songs, and they just put like MIDI drums in there just to give me a bass line of what they're looking for.
Oh, dude, that's easy there. Like a lot of times when I was with Mellencamp, he just play a song on acoustic guitar. I mean, there was nothing, and I had to come up with something unique and original on the spot, crumbling down. With acoustic guitar. Some people are no damn good. So you go boo ba, or boo ba, or ba ba. What do you do? And so how did I come up with, the beat to that, right? So 8 notes in the kick drum, do bat and snare drum, no hi-hat except for one hit and then the second measure. Boo ba boo ba boo ba boo chicka and boo ba. Where did I come up with that? So I came up with a system. When you don't have anything to go with, think of the obvious beat when you're listening to the demo. Think of another beat that's a little bit not as obvious. Think of a third beat that's a little bit more different. And then finally think of something completely out of the box. Start thinking about music that has nothing to do with what you're listening to, because you might grab one idea from it. Listen, I'll give you an example. John wrote this song, sounded like, it's called Love and Happiness. He wrote the song, sounded like a campfire song. Ching, 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 where they're dropping those bombs on the hemisphere. Go listen to that song, how it came out. Double bass drum. Actually, I started on beat 3. How the hell did I get from where they're dropping those bombs? That took 2 days. That's rare because John wants it right away. What I started doing, I completely had to think out of the box. So I went, all right, what am I listening to right now? Oh, I was listening to Peter Gabriel, In Those Eyes, or In Your Eyes. The Manu Katché went, in yours, John goes, whoa, what's that? And I went, oh, shit. He went, what's that weird thing you're doing on the snare drum? Boot. Don't play those tom-toms. So I went, okay. I went, boot, do with my kick drum. Do ba, boot, da, do da. And then he goes, somehow I went from 8 notes to 16ths. Boot, do da. And he went, what's that? Out of nowhere, he's sitting across the room and says, what's that other pedal over there? It was a double bass drum pedal. He says, use that. So I went, boo boo doo da, do da, ba doo boo doo da. I'd never played that beat for him or anybody before. All of a sudden, bam, that became the whole starting point of that song. Now, when you get a demo and they already have a drum program, that makes it easy. What you do, you start with that. That's your original beat. And then from there, start thinking about, you could start by just playing that beat to the song. And the more you play it, do you ever get this experience? The more you play it, the more like, oh, I want to try this now. Or now,
yep.
You get used to, that's just a starting point. Now, there's one other little thing I can give you. Start making this thing that Kenny Aronoff created in 1986 when I was doing the Scarecrow record. John walked in one day, because he was doing more and more business, and we're rehearsing. He walks in with a big crate of LPs from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. He dropped in there and says, "Hey, listen, you guys, I want you to learn songs off these records. Find out what made them hits. Guitar parts, bass parts, drum parts, vocals, song form. They were all like from famous bands that had been on the radio from the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. So I started. It's funny, you know how you hear a song, you've been hearing it all your life, and you go like, oh my God, I never realized the drummer did that. And,
Yeah.
So I started this thing called the Book of Beats. So I'd like write down whatever songs they were. I'd write down the name of the song and I'd write the beat out. And then I'd write down anything else that was kind of cool in that song that was for drums. Then I had the second song and the second song. So when John would sit there and start playing a song and I couldn't come up with an idea, I'd go flipping through my book of beats. And I'd go, oh, I'm going to try that. Because you can't remember everything all at the same, you can't remember all the songs and all the beats you've heard your whole life. So you start creating your book of beats. As a matter of fact, you can call it Kenny's Book of Beats by Sarah. Sarah's Kenny Book of Beats. Sarah's Kenny Book of Beats. And create your book of beats. And so then when you go, they write a song and you got that beat that you're playing, always think about how can I embellish it? How about changing the bass drum or this one hi-hat or one thing? And always think in terms also, depends on the song, but like a lot of times I'll do, if I come up with like a cool chorus beat, if the chorus beat's good, maybe think about what you could do in the verse that's a little bit simpler and everything builds to the chorus. So, this is totally off the cuff. The chorus is goose God, do God, doos da, ba do da. Maybe the verse is do bat do God, and the pre-chorus is do God do God do da, and then the chorus do da ba do ba. You back it up and simplify it. You use the main and most important beat as your starting point, and then you go less. And then you can go more. Like for the bridge, you might go up to the crash and do more tom fills. You start with one thing and you build off of that, both directions. Did that help?
Kenny, that's an amazing piece of advice because it sounds very similar to what literally chord progressions and so on should be. Because like you said, if you're exploding during the verses, where are you going to take it?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So like I said, if you build it the first time, like I said, wherever you want it to be at the highest level, and then back it up through the pre-chorus and then maybe into the verse, even a little more simpler. Like you said, it has a natural progression of that. Does all that make sense to you, Sarah? Is that how you approach some of your songs as well? Yeah.
It also depends on the song.
This is my first time going in.
Yeah.
This is my first time going into the studio doing something like this. So to just have full reign to write whatever I want and do, I find it's gonna be a ton of fun. It is a ton of fun right now, but it's just there's so many ideas that are running in your mind, and you're like, how do you narrow it down to something? Because you're like, oh, I like that, I like that, I really like that. It's like now you gotta
of course,
narrow it down to one.
Hey, that's a lot better than what do I want to do? What do I do? Too many ideas is better than none. But the cool thing is, I'll tell you from my experience, when people send me, I'm going to record 5 songs today, people will say, oh man, just do whatever feels good. They don't mean that. Those people that wrote that song, that have that demo beat, they fell in love with that beat. That's always a good starting point. And from there, when you feel something, add it to that. But that's the safest thing to do. Come in, you listen to it, and play the exact beat that they got on that demo. Because that's what those songwriters are used to hearing. If they didn't like that beat, it wouldn't be there on the demo anymore. It would have been changed.
Wow. That's insightful. Yeah, because they're listening to it back multiple times and are getting used to that beat and so on.
They're used to that beat. Start with that. Because besides Sarah, even if you play that beat, it's going to sound like Sarah. That same beat. I mean, what? Look, think about John Bonham playing Kashmir. All it is boo, bat, boot, bat, boom, bat, boo-da-doo, got, doo-da-doo, bat. Now, is boo ba easy? Hell yeah, it is. Does everybody sound like John Bonham when they play it? Hell no. No. It's like, so you're going to sound like Sarah no matter what. So even if you play that exact beat, sounds like you. And then you start adding some ideas because you're so creative and you've got a good memory. As you start playing, like you said, you nodded when I said, as you play the same thing over and over again, all of a sudden go, oh, this might be cool. And then you try it, and then they give you feedback, and then you go, they don't like it, so you try something else. Don't ever get disappointed if somebody doesn't like what you do. Don't take it anything ever personal. It's that's what being in a band is. You know, some persons go, oh, that's stupid. Just okay, fine, I'll try something else. You know.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's great advice. Sarah, listen, at Eat and Run, I got to get him off to his engineer. We so appreciate you sending in that amazing clip. So first of all, congratulations on that rock star stuff. And we're
Thank
definitely
you very much.
We're super curious to find out more about what your album or what some of these tracks are going to sound like. So if you get a chance to put them up on your YouTube channel, be sure you reach out to us and tell us that. And so that maybe the next time we chat, we can be digging into some of the stuff you're talking about, even right now before you recorded it. You see, it'd be kind of fun to see what you come up with after
Sarah,
the fact.
What I want you to do, Sarah, is I want you to send me the demo and then send me what you ended up with. If you can. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. I definitely will do that for sure.
I'd love to see what you come up with. That's good. Hey, listen.
That's a great idea.
You know what I did? So check this out. I'll give you one thing. So every time I started making more and more records with John Mellencamp, I was trying to figure out, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? Well, with Pink Houses, you probably know the story. I thought, you know what I'm going to do this time? I'm not going to play nothing. That's what I played. Nothing. How about that for a different direction? Bo-doo-doo. I played a headed tambourine. Bo-doo-dee-doo. Ba-da. There's a black man in a black house. Living no drums in neighborhood. And just saw it was like, because then made the second intro like, wow.
Yes, that's
so
true.
I went that direction. Nothing. Or like when Jesus left Birmingham, I was getting so running out of ideas, so I thought I'll start with just make kind of a loop before loops were big. And this was in the maybe early 90s, 91. I took a snare drum, put a cymbal, I went and kept hitting it in different places. I played with I think a brush and a blast stick, and just tried to make it like moving around. Then I put bongos over it, like really soft. I told them to turn the preamps up, and together it was cool. Then I put a little shaker. Then they put it together, compressed it, made a certain sound, and then they overdubbed some parts. We went to dinner, came back, and John went, swing and a miss. And I went, no, I hear it. I said, John, let me go and play the drums. No, that's okay. It's not happening. I said, no, John, what I just played was the overdubs. It suddenly dawned on me. And this is what I thought. I went out there and played. Boot, bot, badoom, R&B. Dot, badoom, bot, doom, bot, badoom, dot, badoom, bot, badoom, bot. Steady eighth notes on the hi-hat. Bam, gop. And then with the loops, bam, 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 badoom, boom, ba, ba, da, ba, badoom, boom, ba, bam, 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 boom. Go listen to When Jesus Left Birmingham on the, I can't remember what record that's on, Scarecrow, Jubilee, I don't know. But man, you'll go like, oh, I started off with the overdubs. I mean, So many ways.
Yeah, there's so many ways to kind of approach it and so on. But taking what Kenny said to you, Sarah, I hope like you do that. Like whatever track you do first,
absolutely.
Just record. Of course, you'll record the first version of it, and then at the last mix, we'll see what the comparison is. That'll be kind of fun exercise for not just you, but for all of us who are kind of listening to it now. That's cool. Sarah, thank you for being on the show. We super appreciate you, and thank you for that drum solo, and good luck with your project coming up in the near future with your new recording.
See you, Sarah. Happy Thanksgiving, too.
See you. Hey, before I leave, happy Thanksgiving. Do you see up on the wall that drum head you gave me when I first met you?
Put her in the big screen. Oh, yeah. Which one is...
What is that? Let's see. Bring it over. Yeah, bring us over. Let's see. Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Look at
my
Remember when you gave that to me when I met you for the first time and you had me as your assistant at the Connecticut show? I had to show you that I framed that sits right above my bed. I look at it every day.
Oh, man. That's so badass. I love it. Yeah.
That is super cool. That is super cool. I love that. That's super cool. Well, thank you again, Sarah. Listen, good luck with your project. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Say hi to your parents.
I will. Thank you, guys, and thank you.
Yeah.
I will. I definitely will tell them you said
Tell
hi.
them I say hi. All right. Take care.
So awesome. She's like a rock star waiting to happen, isn't she? I think she's a rock star waiting to happen.
No, she's already a rock star.
Wow.
As a human being. Wow. All right, so I have to get going.
Yeah, you got to get going. Hey, well, so thank you everybody for tuning in. We so appreciate you being here on the show. We had 10 different people, Kenny, that you wanted to reach out to. We brought them on. Everyone had a chance to have a small conversation, short conversation. We appreciate that time. Short conversation still add up to 2.5 hours later. So we appreciate your time for doing that.
All right, man.
Thank you for doing that, and good luck on your session. And we'll do this again. We'll talk to you we'll talk to you after maybe Thanksgiving. I hope you and your family stay healthy and safe.
Yeah.
Say hi to your mom. I'll be talking to her again. Anyway, we'll talk to her soon.
That was fun.
And so what's coming up very quick for you? What's coming up for everybody to watch for you? What are you doing? What's in the next couple of days? Just curious.
I'm recording today, tomorrow. I got a good gob of songs. One song I'm doing is for Edgar Winter, for a Johnny Winter project that I'm playing percussion and timbales. I thought, is it going to be Frankenstein? And because, actually, I'll show everybody, I got this ridiculous, I just signed with LP, and I created a very, very extraordinary, unique, well, there's the timbales. You see that?
Oh, okay, yes, yeah.
But
got
check this drum set out. Oh, you're on TV right now, Dave.
Oh,
that's
hi.
my engineer. But look at that drum set. That's a percussion drum set that I did.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I just did a whole photo shoot for that, and that's obviously my drums. But yeah, man. So that's coming up, and I've got been working on I'm gonna constantly working on my speaking business, and I'm about to do a massive sizzle reel. It's going to be a whole new reel where before I walk on stage, because I'm on. Oh my God. The amount of people I've worked with, I started to make a list. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people of all sorts. What it is basically before I walk on, it's gonna be bam, 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 with a Joe, with like a cool groove, maybe a Joe Satriani song underneath, to show everybody the multitude of people and how many different artists and hundreds and thousands of CDs, and it's all got to come at you all in 60 seconds.
Wow.
So that when I walk out, I don't have to say what I've done. You already see you get an idea. And so we're creating a whole new reel, revamping my speech a little bit.
Okay.
So this all takes time. When I revamp my speech, I have to revamp my deck, and then I'm going to film it, and then I'm going to I'm going to go over it with my agent, and so this is a constant work in progress.
Yeah.
And more sessions. And I got a drum book I've been involved with, and I still got to do my audio book. And people send me projects that they want me involved with, and I can't even remember all of them. So it's ongoing. It's ongoing. It's
awesome.
Ongoing.
Well, that's why we super appreciate the time you took out today, and to all the winners and people that had the opportunity. I hope you enjoyed that opportunity to speak with.
That was cool. We should do it. We should do it again. It's cool having all these people come on.
It is, isn't it?
It's good for the people. It's good for everyone to watch. We should create a different. It won't be the drum solo, but we're gonna do something where we come up with a subject matter and get people to come on with us.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I love the stories that we hear. You don't hear the behind the scenes stories. So when someone says, "Hey, I was in the middle of moving in my house from a hurricane while I did this," I mean, that's a cool story, right? So it's all good. Okay, my friend, listen, you take good care of yourself. Say hi to your family. Stay safe, and happy Thanksgiving to you. That's coming up, and all that kind of fun stuff.
All right.
And for everybody else out there, hey, be kind out there, everyone. Be kind out there. See you, Ken.
See you, Peter. Take care. Bye.
See you, buddy.